Have you been to any Black Lives Matter marches?
I have. It's the spectrum.
I was the first. I don't know if you heard at these Black Lives Matter marches when they stop, they be like, all the white people in the front.
Yeah. And you know why they do that?
All the white people in the front.
I'm gonna tell you why they do that. Because Dr. King did that. Dr. King said that we're gonna have to go through the struggle. They're probably gonna kick our asses.
No, it's because it's like, yo, throw these, like, their favorite to use your white privilege for a good reason.
I need y'all in the front.
I need y'all in the
front. So people see
that
it's not just us. The
Right.
world, every other race is feeling the way that we feel, and they're with our movement.
And if you pay attention to King, King didn't fight a war of racism. He fought a publicity.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm rock with you niggas.
Alright, we back. My Expert Opinion episode number 71. It's heavenly, son. We get
71?
Ready and all the enemies done, and you know what I mean. And yeah, I could keep it going, but you know,
71.
Shout out to everybody that's watching. If this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button. The rest of you guys, you know what it is. Wipe your feet, hit that like, hit that share. Let everybody know that you're here. I want to shout out King Shaving Company. King Shaving, the King's Elixir. If you want your beard to be nice and full like this right here, you got to get that King Shaving, King's Elixir. So go to kingshavingproducts.com and get the Elixir, promo code Hoffa Gang. And of course, I got the King in the building.
What up? Misfit Murder F Gang, episode 71. You already know the vibes. Miss.fit, my dumb advice, you already know. Follow me on Caffeine. Ow, eat it.
Ow, she got a caffeine deal. And I don't. So I don't even, we gonna delete all that. We're gonna delete or we ain't showing no love until they cut the check.
It's not good to hate.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hating is very bad.
That's crazy.
No, I love the fit. You know, I love what she's doing.
You can't help yourself.
Why I gotta be hate? It's not hate, man. It's not hate.
Hell yeah, it's hate.
We got Uncle Brooklyn. You know what I mean? My man Uncle Seth in the building, comedian, entrepreneur, the good guy.
Facts.
You know, the guy people get in contact with for a lot of things. And you'll figure out why he has a Comedy Central mask on. You'll figure out all this stuff throughout the course of the show. And finally, we've been talking about this for a minute.
A little while.
Yeah, we even had an episode. What we do, you know, I kept that in mind. Like, yo, I did say to people, China Mac was going to be on the show, and I know people was hitting me up like, yo, what's up with that China Mac episode?
Right.
I'm like, yo, I got to make good on this. You went to Cali. I went to Cali. We missed each other somehow.
Cali vibes.
Yeah, Cali vibes.
You just get lost in that shit. Yeah, it's different.
I was in the drop top with 2 joints, you know what I mean? Hitting the beach every day, you know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you did too. You did too. But you wasn't in the drop top with 2 joints, you know what I'm saying?
That's my regular life, man. You learn from me. You learn from me.
Talk to
You learn from me.
There was a drop with 2 joints in there. That was yours?
Come on.
It was right outside.
Right outside.
But this brother is also a leader of a movement. Stop the Asian hate. There's been a lot of heinous things going on in society, and it took a brother from Brooklyn. And when I say brother, I don't care what shade you're seeing. It took a brother from Brooklyn to kind of like stand up and create a movement. So we got China Mac in the building.
Yes, sir.
it is.
Real salute.
Ah, man, what's going on in the world these days, man?
What's not going on in the world right now?
Yeah, let's try to figure that out real quick.
Right,
What
what's
is not going on?
Happiness, peace,
Happiness,
stability.
peace. Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's about it. That's the three things that are missing from Earth.
What do you think is the cause of? Because I got my own.
Oh, we're about to get Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan, we could get Joe Rogan. I think social media is fucking a lot of people up.
I swear it is, bro.
I have a different opinion. Here's what I think. I think that, and it sounds crazy to come out the mouth this way, but I told people at the start of this, COVID was gonna be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all was gonna have to check yourselves. Y'all was gonna have to see your family. Y'all was gonna have to see your friends. You was gonna have to figure out who was really in your life.
Right.
You was gonna have to figure out the next step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you was broke during COVID, you didn't have any drive, any grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the pandemic definitely showed Earth who we really all are. You know what I mean? And then at the very end of the pandemic, we went back to normal. As soon as the pandemic was over, started to calm down, 2 school shootings, police murdering black people on the street, hate crimes around the world.
Yeah.
It was only till we was all stuck in the house that we got to see who was what and who was who.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think being stuck in the house, we were all kind of unified because we had like a common enemy. And that's something that, you know, with a lot of nations, they may have their beefs, but once they find a common enemy, you know, I have a theory that an alien invasion would end all racism.
Yeah, they said that. They said that a long
feel
time
what
ago. They said,
Of course.
In order for us to have world peace, we would need extraterrestrials to come here.
Right, and then everybody would be like, oh shit, it's us against them.
Right, a fight though.
Let's hold hands and fight, you know what I mean? But without that, we've been seeing this Asian hate thing. And you started a movement after a lady got burned. She got set on fire. And you got out there with the gang, with a whole lot of people and said they can't burn us all.
Right.
What fueled that? What kind of made you say, it's on me, I gotta make this happen?
Because I saw that, I knew this shit was gonna get worse. You feel me? Because I saw, I mean, she was the last straw that broke it for me, but there was like incidents before that, like the man with the cans getting beat up that made all, but because I was like, you know, keen to that shit, I was seeing like an increase of it, and it didn't look like it was stopping. And plus this lady got attacked, and then they had kerosene in their pocket. So they carried the kerosene purposely to squirt it all over her back and set her on fire. You feel me?
Right.
So that was like, you know, and that was in broad daylight, and nobody
Helped.
You feel me? So I'm like, yo, like, the way our people, like the Asian people, nobody's speaking about it. Nobody is trying to like, yo, listen, you know, nobody is trying to like make any fuss. Nobody is trying to make any noise. Nobody wants to make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody that has a platform, everybody that has a voice is so worried about jeopardizing it instead of speaking up for something that they know is wrong. You feel me? So like, like everybody know, I've been in prison. So when I was in prison, you have to speak up for shit, or else you gon', you know what I'm saying?
It's gonna keep happening.
Right. You gon', even if you gotta speak up, like with anything, or especially when shit happens, you have to check it. You know what I'm saying? You have to check it.
Right
or
then
else
and
it's or else it's just gonna keep on happening because people feel like, you know, it can happen. So when I saw the shit, I'm like, all right, fuck that shit. So what happened was somebody had like tagged me in this shit in that video, right? And was like, I bet China Mac won't say nothing about this, because Asian people like see me, like I hang around a lot of Black, Hispanic, like, you know, some Asians, but mostly like this is like the crowd that I be around. So Asian people kind of looked at me like I wasn't
You didn't identify.
Right,
with
but
your own
that could be the farthest from the truth because the first 7, 8 years was all Chinese. You know what I'm saying? I actually speak more Chinese than my little brothers and little sisters, like, you know what I mean? And they never went to jail, they never went away. I speak better Chinese than them, you feel me?
Right.
Like, I know, like I'm tapped into my Chinese culture because they instilled that. My parents, my mother, you know what I'm saying? My family instilled that Chinese tradition in me, right? So I had that. But then when I was 8 years old, I went into the juvenile system. You feel me? And I stayed there consistently for a long time. So I learned the rest of my shit there. You feel me? So now Asian people might look at me and be like, oh, you know, he probably don't even like, you know, he's not even Asian because the way I move, the way I, you know what I mean?
Right.
So a lot of Asian people looked at me like, I don't really like, you know, I don't put my people before me type shit, but I do though. Because even when I was in jail, you know what I'm saying, couldn't nobody do something to an Asian dude without, you know, without me doing something about it. Now I'm not Superman, but what I'm saying is if an Asian dude can't get on the phone, that's a reflection of me, bro.
Right.
You feel me? If he's sitting on the floor, right? He's sitting on the floor eating his food with no, like half a chicken, like that's a reflection on me, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there's only 2 of us, bro. So if I'm not making sure you good, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't consider myself a man. You feel me? So when them dudes couldn't get on the phone, I made sure they got on the phone.
Right.
I tried to, or else we was out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I knew that if I just allowed them to keep on doing that, they're gonna take advantage of them.
So that was situations that was happening while you was locked up?
Facts. You know what I'm saying? It happens. So now when I seen this shit, I was like, damn, this is like the same shit. You feel me? Motherfuckers don't want to say nothing. Motherfuckers ain't trying to like, you
But
know.
why do you think that is? Why do you think that they weren't saying anything? Is it that people are so kind of reluctant to acknowledge that you can separate yourself, you can acknowledge your roots, and kind of say, look, this is about my race right now, and yeah, I associate with so many other people, but this is about this right now. You think people are just so, what's the word? Like stuck on just not looking like they're from the outside. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Where they're like, okay, if I say something, it's almost like saying or admitting I'm not really one of y'all.
Right.
In their minds.
Right.
And they want to keep that, nah, I'm with y'all, I'm really, that don't got nothing to do with me. When in reality, it has everything to do with them.
Right.
So is that the reason why you feel like people don't like respond to, or Asians that's in the light don't kind of speak up when they see stuff like this going on?
Well, motherfuckers just don't want to be the first ones. Motherfuckers want to ride the wave. So, you know what I mean? They'll do it, like, I set it off, right? And I was like, yo, what's up? All the Asian celebrities, I reached out to all of them. Jeremy Lin, everybody, whoever you could think of. Aquafina, everybody. I reached out to all of them.
Right.
You feel me? You know,
Nobody reached back?
Nobody responded. Then I called them out. Like, yo, what type of shit? Like, what's up? What type of time we on, bro? Like, y'all got this platform and y'all not gonna like step up for the people, you feel me? Like, and then some of them responded, but you know, a lot of them didn't respond.
Who responded?
You know, Aquafina responded, you feel me? Jeremy Lin responded after, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people didn't respond. A lot of people didn't respond, and I was just like, you know, people was saying that I was being, like I was like hyping it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was, you know, just like it wasn't that serious type shit, you feel me? But now, almost a year after, it's up 450%, you know what I'm saying? And the reason Asian crimes against Asians, attacks, is up 450% since that first incident. You feel me? The incident that made that shit happen, right? And that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? But now, people jump on the wave, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause now it's cool. You know, now everybody talking about it, so now they want to do it. But the thing is, and that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not a trailblazer. You feel me?
Right.
Everybody's not a buster. If we have a door, we gotta break in that shit. And there's 50 of us. All 50 of us ain't rushing that door, bro.
Right.
That's your job. All right, y'all, you three break the door, and we gonna come in after that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, boom, I sparked it. It's all good. You feel me?
How many people did you have out there?
Like 400 or 500, and that was like in a week or two. You feel me? Like 400 or 500. Then we went to Chinatown. There was like another, it went down. It was like 300, 300. Then we went to LA. You feel me? And that shit was like 600. And we went to San Francisco. That shit was like 2,000, some shit like that. You know what I mean?
What's the ultimate objective, right? Is it raising awareness, get people empowered to kind of implement a law, or like for you, like your movement, and if you the end game, where do you want to see that movement lead?
Well, I don't really care about the law. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not really a system that I bank on. You know what I mean? So
because Joe Biden did pass something.
Right. I mean, I don't even. What did he pass? I don't know what he passed.
It was namesake at best.
It was an Asian hate crime law.
I mean, but
Right, but what does that do?
it doesn't do anything because there are already hate crime laws on the books.
Right.
So if there's a hate crime law on the books and there's regular criminal laws on the books, I punch a Chinese guy in the face and say something that's derogatory towards
Right.
Asian people.
That's
a
a hate
hate
crime.
crime as well as the assault.
Right.
So
Right.
what did y'all do? Technically,
You added time to anybody.
You,
Yeah,
assaults
and then I don't know if that's right. Because just because I have an argument with me and you have an argument right now.
Right.
And I say I fucking hate your beard. You know what I'm saying? And you punch me in the mouth. That's not a fucking,
hate crime.
that's not a
Right.
hate crime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they'll fuck around and gas that shit up to that. You feel me?
And throw that time on it.
Right.
Yeah, right. So and is that the answer? I don't know if that's the answer. You know what I'm saying? What I feel like is, at the end of the day, bro, all right, there's an issue. The issue started with the anti-Chinese shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There is xenophobia right now, and that's anti-Chinese, anti-China, not anti-me, you know what I'm saying? Not anti-us, but anti-China, Chinese.
The country, the nation.
Right. So,
Well, from what I understand, it goes along with Trump kind of relating the coronavirus to
right,
Chinese
but even before
people.
Trump, there was anti-China.
Right, we're not
Right.
going to say Trump. We're gonna be honest about that.
You can open the door.
Hate crimes in Asia have been here. Hate crimes in America against Asians have been here for forever. This is not a new thing. Same thing when we start talking about other nations and other nationalities. Palestine right now in the papers is hot. But we're talking about a war that happened years ago, and these people have been having the same treatment. So that is popular now, and that is a conversation now. Is a good thing.
What do you think the Trump thing sparked it?
I think
it sparked
listen,
it
check
for
it out,
sure.
right? Check it out. Like the brother said, there's been anti-Chinese sentiment. There was the Chinese Exclusion Act. You know what I'm saying? That was way back.
What was that?
All right, so basically, I ain't no fucking historian, you feel me? But the Chinese came over here for the gold rush. You
Right.
feel me? They was basically tricked over here. You know what I mean? Shit was going bad out there too, because China at the time was a third world country.
Correct.
It just recently got its power. It did that shit pretty quick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But just till recently, it was a third world country. So at that time, they was all fucked up. They was going through whatever they was going through. So the people heard about this gold rush in America. You know what I mean? So the Americans went over there and was like, yo, they got fucking gold in the middle of the street. You could just walk down the block. There's gold ponds. Like, you be rich. So they was like, all right, sign me up. We going. So when they got there, it wasn't that. It was the end of the gold rush. You feel me? The gold was already gone. And they just there now. Boatloads of these motherfuckers is here now. So now they not slaves, you know what I'm saying? But they're there for indentured servantry, right? So it's like cheap, super cheap labor, like super cheap. The next class up from slavery.
Right.
But however, you can't compare that to what happened to the Africans who was brought over here because they were snatched from over there. You know what I'm saying? Stripped of everything. So it's different. You feel me? We was brought over here, but the only thing is we still kept our culture. You feel me? They didn't strip us of our culture. You know what I mean? They ain't do, but they fucked us up. You know what I mean? They rounded us up. They killed us. They hung us. They did all that shit because the Chinese was, once the gold rush stopped, the Chinese had to do something. So they started working. They started working, whatever. So the white people was like, oh, these dudes are like, you know, they work hard. You know what I'm saying? And they're not big, but they're fucking like, they're resourceful and shit. You know what I mean? So let's put them on the fucking the railroads. You know what I'm saying? And then they was doing it. The Chinese was knocking the railroads out. You know what I'm saying? With other people, it wasn't just Chinese people, but they used them. They used all of these boats of people to do the railroads, right? So now what happened was the white people was like, y'all taking all the fucking jobs.
The original.
Y'all taking all the fucking jobs. You paying these motherfuckers like less. And now I'm American. This is my country. You know what I mean? Even though you just snatched it from somebody else. But this is my country. You feel me? So fuck that. We're gonna round them up. We're gonna kill them. You guys can't. So there was a whole anti-Chinese law. That was the first bill that was passed of its kind. You feel me? The Chinese Exclusion Act.
It's crazy how history continues to repeat itself over and over.
Yeah, so that's never is never gone. However, of recently, right? Like if you look 2 years ago, you know, there was like anti-Asian shit, there was shit, but nothing like this. Right. Nothing like now. And people could be like, oh, well, it's just more reported now. No, it's happening a lot more now. You know what I'm saying? Cameras just didn't come. The camera phones didn't just appear. Right. So if that shit was happening 2-3 years ago, we would have heard about it. You know what I'm saying? We would have been making noise a long time ago. You feel me? So it was happening, but not to the extent that it's happening now. Right. You feel me?
Now it's being captured.
And the reason why the media took a whole fucking, before we even knew anything about it, because we don't watch the fucking news. You know what I'm saying? So before the people that, like most of the people that don't watch the news and just get their news from Twitter and wherever the fuck else they get it from, or Instagram or some shit, right? The media was already spinning anti-Chinese. You know what I'm saying? China, 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 and then Trump goes on television, right? National television, and calls it the Kung Flu virus. Correct. Calls it the China flu. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, whether he was saying it because it came from China, I'm not here to debate if it came from China or not. I don't know what the fuck happened. I was here. I was in Brooklyn. I was in Queens. I was eating a sandwich. I don't know what the fuck was happening when that shit happened. But what I do know is when he did that, whether the people here in Harlem fuck with Trump or not, it reverberates down. You understand what I'm saying?
People start repeating
the respect for these people, you throw them right under the bus. Absolutely. So now you get. So now everybody's home.
Because you're like the president said it.
Right. Everybody is home.
Whether you agree with him or not.
But
you're like, yo, they brought it over here.
But ultimately, when something bad happens, and especially to this extent of something like the coronavirus,
and the world stops,
and you point at someone and give them blame. People always want somebody to blame for what's happening.
You're not pointing at China. You know what I'm saying? Because what you could have said was just like, you know, the country China. You know what I'm saying? You could have focused in on that. You feel me? But instead, or whatever else you was gonna say, right? But you threw us under the bus. Me, who's Chinese American, but I was born and raised here. I've never been to China. You feel me?
Never.
They won't let me in China.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding?
I'm American. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I got felonies and shit. They might not let me go. You feel me?
That's crazy.
So people look at me like, oh, you know, motherfucker, I'm American just like you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm as much Chinese as you are African. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I was born here.
Here, right.
This is what I know. This is my country. When they come invading in this shit, they not gonna fucking let me go because I look like them. They gonna shoot me, man.
Facts.
It's a fact. I'm laughing, but that's true. Yo, it's kind of like, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
You feel me? If that shit was to happen, they won't look at me they won't be like, oh, all the Asian people, you know what I'm saying? Right. You guys are good. No. Right. We Americans.
Right.
The bomb gonna drop where it's gonna drop.
It's gonna drop where it's gonna drop. Right. They're not gonna be like, oh, this is Chinatown, so man, fuck out of here. We all out here.
We all out here. That bomb. everybody from
feel
Harlem
me?
to Chinatown and
That's a fact.
finished. He ain't like
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, I don't blame all of it on him, but that motherfucker had a big deal. He set the tone.
Absolutely.
He set the tone, and him as the president, you know what I mean? You say some shit like that, of course it didn't happen, but within that week, crimes on Asians was going up. Every week, going
Right.
up even more.
Right.
Even up even more.
And
Up even
I
more.
think that's
And then
the
you see
thing.
the media spinning this shit.
Right.
The
Yeah.
kung fu.
The reason I don't blame Trump.
That shit sounds so fucking ridiculous. Like it's loony that people actually try to run with it.
They no,
You
it's
know
not
what I
that
mean?
they
Like-
tried to run with it. They ran with it.
Right.
They ran with it. all
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, and it's not just
And-
that. The fact that Trump, the people who support Trump
Right, there
tend
we
to
go.
be extremists.
No, you gotta
and
remember.
they are so
Yo,
like
he just lit the
literally
fire.
they hang
Listen,
on
bro.
to
Trump
every
is a
word he
politician.
says.
Trump never does anything without a base and a back.
Right.
So the people that he was speaking to are the people that put him in office. So when he was saying those things might have made
they resonated with those
right.
people.
But those are people that feel that way.
Right.
So Trump
but
is not,
those are probably the same people who get on an elevator with a Muslim and be scared
And
that
be
they're gonna
scared
blow
that-
up the elevator.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Stupid shit like that.
So I never blame Trump. I blame the people that put Trump in office. I blame America because I don't know what anybody thought or what they think now.
Right.
But America has been, and I'll say this: America is a racist country. Okay. Outright racist country, and that y'all put that man in office proved it. That y'all sat there for 4 years and the Senate and the Congress okayed and tried to do everything they can to help him.
Right.
Proves it. So I don't blame Trump for it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can come out here and say some bullshit,
Right.
but it
Yeah,
takes
but
them
when
all
you
to
when
attack.
you
Yeah, but you're in a position
when
of
you're
power.
you're the fucking
Yeah,
leader
correct.
of the
Of a
free
country.
world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you go up there and you say the kung fu
Yeah.
virus. Like, come on, what were you expecting for that to happen
Exactly
to the
what
people
happened.
of this?
That's what he was
like, this
expecting.
I don't want to
No,
seem
right.
insensitive.
And it's the same as the Capitol,
Right,
Capitol
right,
Hill.
no, like I said, the reason I don't
He basically said, yo, this is, it's a revolution. We
Right.
gotta do this. And they hang on to every word he says.
But for the record, COVID started. The first case of COVID was in China.
Right. But then do you call it, do you say something like the kung flu virus? Like,
Every time you say it,
I'm just
I wanna
saying.
laugh, bro, because
Because I'm
it's ridiculous.
He's
It's fucking ridiculous.
All right,
That's
think about it.
crazy.
Kung fu virus. It sounds like some shit that you catch and then kung
right,
fu or
right,
some
right.
shit.
No, think about it
You know
this
what I
way,
mean?
right?
Like you just walk down the street kicking the
that's-
shit out of
AIDS-
people.
AIDS
Like you
started
just
in
fucking
America.
niggas up. Walking down the street, like why would you even?
AIDS
It's
started
just-
here. We don't call it the American virus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a
it
virus,
didn't.
bro.
It started
The
in
shit-
Africa.
No. It didn't
Listen,
start in Africa. That's what they said. AIDS is
They
a
said
man-made
it,
yo,
thing.
they
bro,
said
listen.
it came from
listen.
That's
the
another
shit's-
show right there.
So we're gonna
Yo, viruses can start anywhere, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Viruses can
But we
start
also
anywhere.
know that
that shit can shit,
it has
shit
so
can happen
many
here.
similar symptoms to the actual flu. Then do we really know who was the actual first person who contracted the
Yeah,
virus?
And do we really know
The first
if
case
it's-
was actually in China.
But do we know that? Because they were saying so many people had it previously, but we never
Yeah,
knew.
but they didn't know what it was. That's true.
Right. So how do
That's
you
true.
actually trace that?
Even when they say like this year, right? We start counting COVID deaths, right? They be like we're up to almost 500,000 COVID deaths around
from
the
when
world.
the first time they said, "Oh, this is actually something else,"
Yeah, no, but when they say
because there was a
COVID,
lot of people diagnosed before we even thought of the name or thought of what
yeah,
it
but
was.
people they're saying it's like AIDS. Nobody dies from AIDS. AIDS is autoimmune deficiency syndrome. Meaning
Right,
your
it
immune
breaks
system
down your
doesn't
immune
work.
system.
Right, so you don't die from AIDS. You die from the flu,
Right.
which is the AIDS. You just die from AIDS-related
Or
complications.
pneumonia.
'Cause your
So
immune system
once
ain't-
COVID came out, nobody in America had a heart attack anymore. Everybody was a COVID case.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Right.
Everybody was a COVID case. And I read that hospitals were signing them because the federal government was kicking out money for that. So everybody was just wrote down as a COVID case.
Right.
So even those numbers, I
Bro.
don't trust.
This
It was
shit's
a super
spooky,
hype.
man.
It's a
Yeah.
hype.
Listen.
There was a hype around
Bro,
this shit from
this
the
shit
rip.
is spooky. I'm not here to do no conspiracy theory shit, but if you don't see no foul play going on, some weird shit going on, then I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there is some weird shit going on, bro. Like just like we were saying, like when the news was going crazy about New York, like New York was zombie land, bro. They was talking about like people was dropping dead on these streets and crazy.
People was calling me up like, yo, you all right?
Right. And what was we
I'm
doing?
like,
and what was we doing?
I'm like, nigga, I'm riding bikes through fucking Times Square.
Yeah.
It's empty out here. Nigga, I'm
Yeah.
doing donuts in the middle of the street.
Right.
Nigga, I don't
It
care.
ain't like people dying. Like it ain't people dying.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, I mean,
like,
we did see truckloads of dead bodies and nowhere to put them. There was an extreme amount of dead people.
But my
it
theory
wasn't
on it,
zombie land, like people
Right.
dropping dead in the street.
my theory
You know
on
what
it
I'm
is,
saying? But
is
there was people in funeral homes rotting because they didn't have space for them. You know,
Right.
that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's something that we hadn't seen since the freaking Spanish flu. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's,
But the question
you know,
became-
nuts. I mean,
yeah.
it
But what
was
I'm
something.
saying is, and that's horrible that people died off of it. That's horrible. Like I don't
I
know,
lost a friend.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's hyped. You feel me? It
Very
was hyped.
hyped.
Super hyped. You
Right.
feel me? Because even when I went to Miami, they like, yo, and I came back in New York, and everybody's like, yo, Miami's going crazy, the news, like, and I
Right.
was like, I was just in Miami. It wasn't like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it
People
wasn't.
saying that about California, and it wasn't like that in California. So what I'm saying is there is some weird shit going on. You feel me? And for some reason, amongst that is there is propaganda being spread on the Asian people, on the Chinese people. You know what I'm saying? On the people of China. Whatever that reason is, I don't know. I'm not sitting here to do that, right? But I do know propaganda is a motherfucker.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
You know what I'm
is.
saying? Propaganda,
I think-
propaganda made, like, you gotta understand.
I think we live in an age of
most genocides
super
are
propaganda.
caused by propaganda.
Yeah.
Right.
Most genocides, yeah.
Like, this motherfucker, Hitler, right?
Absolutely.
He didn't. People think Hitler did that shit to the
No.
Jews in like that.
He dehumanized
8
them
years.
by calling them
8 to
roaches,
10 years.
rats. He made them seem less of people by
Right, by
dehumanizing,
propaganda.
using them as
Right.
scapegoats,
Right.
and blame them for something.
Making them cartoons, but just little by little, to the point where the people would be feel okay to just exterminate.
But we've seen a lot of
They did the same thing in Darfur.
And I
with the
need y'all to
genocide
like
in
kind of
Africa.
like pay attention. But there's a lot of things that Hitler did
That Trump
that
doing.
you've seen repeated
Trump did all
throughout
of it.
history.
Right.
Listen,
As
Hitler
far
came-
as burning a building of his own parliament to start a war.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Shit wicked, bro.
Relate that to whatever you want to relate it to.
Right.
Shit wicked, bro.
But yeah,
So
this
what
shit been going on.
Yeah, shit going on, bro.
When you
And
think
for some
about it-
reason, for some reason, the propaganda is for us to hate Chinese people right
Absolutely.
now.
And then more so for the trade of goods. Because Trump had consistently had an issue with us buying everything from China.
Right.
Right.
The imports, the money. Because like you said, rapidly China's stature and
Right.
station rose, and we're right here.
Yeah.
No, we're
You know what I'm
not.
saying? At a time, they
no,
were
no,
not
no,
even
no, not
close.
anymore.
No, put
You
your
know
hand
what
right
I'm
there.
saying?
No,
we
not
owe,
anymore.
we owe trillions to China.
Right, so that's
Right.
but that's what he wanted to do is
To
take
fix
the
that.
money from them.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to do that is what's happening right now. Is place blame.
Place
Right.
blame. Slow down that acquisition of how much real estate Chinese people are buying in America.
Chinese people owe
And China is responding by, okay, y'all want to stop us from here? Then we gonna get everything else. Listen, I went to Colombia. You know what I'm saying? They don't have AT&T there. They don't have Verizon over there. They don't got T-Mobile over there. You know what they got?
Oh boy.
Huawei.
Oh, there you go. Right.
And Trump banned Huawei
He
from
banned
America.
America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know.
But that shit is in every other country.
Correct.
Huawei. He knew the
Correct.
name already. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a phone brand.
Right, it's a phone brand, but they got they got their shit. So they invested a lot of money
Is it a better service?
No, it's not a service.
just the same
what do you
service?
mean
It's
by
not a
better
service.
The
It's
phone rings
it's technology.
That's it. Oh, that's what. Okay.
It's everything though.
Yeah,
It's
like
everything.
they make batteries.
What they doing is they going in the third world countries. Oh, you guys don't have
Electricity?
internet. You don't have internet. We'll put it there for you. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna pay for it at first, but then they own all that shit. You feel me?
Right.
So they get all that information by just putting internet service and all that shit there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they've been doing. And America has just been like that. So what I'm saying is not to take this shit into somewhere else, but there is there is some shit going on.
Yeah,
and there is a reason why every time you turn on your social media that you see something about Asian people. It depends where you're looking. Right. So if I'm you, or if I'm not maybe you, but if I'm in the hood and I follow certain type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, I might see a lot of like, damn, Asian people hate us. Right now, I probably would look like, damn, Asian people kick the black girl out, Asian people this, or they hate us, boom, 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 right? But if I'm Asian, I might see a lot of like, damn, black people attack this
Asian.
person.
Right.
Black people attack that person. Black people attack this, somebody attack this
So it's
lady.
something spooky going on.
So now you got two sides. I would love to have a person fall over here, and a black person right here. All right, come over here. Let me see your timeline. And then you, Chinese person, all the way over here. Boom, come over here. Let me see your timeline. And let's see what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to see a whole bunch of like,
propaganda.
Propaganda. Like, yo, you hate this person. This is what they doing to us. This is what they doing to us.
Yeah.
And boom, right? And so now...
Well, it's because of the people you follow, right? Typically, if you're Asian, you would follow more Asian people.
Right.
And typically, if you're black, you
know,
would follow more black people.
Right.
So it's whatever conversation each is having. But I did want to ask
It's the
you that, though.
suggestion.
It's the suggestions, right? It's the
I
algorithm.
did want to ask you that,
suggestions.
like, what are your thoughts, right? Because I see a huge conversation happening, you know, obviously on Twitter, Instagram, you know, anywhere that you get a conversation involving like Black Lives Matter, and how, you know, certain people are sparking the conversation saying, hey, the Asian community are racist against blacks.
Right.
And how do we feel supporting the Stop Asian Hate behind, you know, quote unquote, a community that doesn't necessarily support the black community.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you, from your standpoint, I could imagine it is a difficult place to be, right? Because you obviously have grown up with black people and Spanish people, and it is your community as well.
But then there's
Yet
Asian family
your
members
heritage and
that might
your
not
culture,
understand
Not
you
even
hanging
that,
out.
understand. It's
Yeah.
more so, where are you in that conversation?
Right.
Right? What is your place?
It's a hard thing. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
can
It's super hard. I feel like yes, there is racism amongst Asian people towards black people.
Right.
But there is also racism towards, that I've seen, Puerto Rican towards black people, Dominicans towards black people, Greek people towards, like, everybody has, you know, their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of times it be black people for whatever reason. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of like, and yes, and we're not exempt from it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, you know, we definitely have that there. You feel me? And that was passed down from, like, you know, culturally, just like everybody else, right? But
culturally, or
Well,
is it again
hold on.
propaganda?
I have to change. I have to stop everybody 1 second. Asian people, Hispanic people, Middle Eastern people, these people do not have racism towards each other. We might have biases. We might be bigoted to some degree.
Right.
But we aren't racist.
That's so.
towards
That's,
each other.
yeah.
The only people that are racist here are the people that feel like they're, because of their complexion of their class, they're better than everybody else.
Everybody else.
Right. So in
Right. Anybody
let's
with a
replace
hyphen.
that word with prejudice.
Right.
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 All right.
So,
So
yeah.
this is how I feel. I feel like, yo, as a black man in America, and as an Asian person from wherever they are, because Asian people consist of 48 different countries, different languages, different cultures, different histories, right?
Right.
And then you have You know, if you just compare a person, let's say a Korean person, right, that grew up wherever, right, with their and you match them with a black person right here from Harlem, you're gonna see there's gonna be a huge difference in everything, like just the worldview, how they look at things, how they respond to things,
right.
and how they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just a huge difference because culturally we were taught certain things that is complete opposite the way you were taught. Right? And I could say that as a fact because I've lived both. Right? So in Asian culture, we're taught to like, you know, we're taught that to be quiet, like to not make noise, right? We're taught that. We're taught to like avoid conflict. You know what I'm saying? Like we do it smarter. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do we handle things a little differently. Right. You know what I'm saying? We were versus like when I grew up in the system, like in Spofford and fucking like, you know, in the group home.
Yo, that was not the way.
He went all the way back to home.
Right? You can't be quiet. Well, they're gonna take your fucking snack.
Right.
And then if you let him take your snack, you know what I'm saying? When I was like back in that time, they was raping people. They gonna take your ass. You know what I'm saying? So like so it's just different. I'm not saying that the black experience is compared to what they go through in prison. But what I'm saying is it's just from what I experienced there, it was different. You know what I mean? Complete different. You know what I'm saying? And then plus now when I speak to, you know, different, it's just we're taught, like, you know how when you was a kid, right? When your mom taught you like, yo, when somebody punched you, what did they teach you?
Fight back.
Yeah, they don't teach you that in the Asian community. You feel me?
Non-conflict.
Yeah, they don't teach us that. We're like Buddhists, like we're like, but our tradition is always like, you know, try not to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like don't let your emotions, don't let that shit, you know, like, you know, put things ahead, like, you know what I mean? So we were taught that, and that's how we look at things, right? And then people here, you can't be taught that in a rough environment. You know what I'm saying? When environments is tough and shit is going on, like you can't.
You're gonna get wiped out.
Right, you're gonna get wiped out. So it's different. It's two different worlds. You feel me? So it's like you're gonna get a different outlook, right? So if I come in a room, right, and there's like five of y'all, right, black, Spanish, whatever, and I come in here and I just sit over there on the corner, or we in the ball cart, in the gym or some shit. Everybody playing ball, but I'm sitting over here playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some shit like that, right? And automatically, y'all gonna feel like I just don't fuck with you. Like I feel like I'm better than you or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever bias we had, we're gonna put it there because we're not opening a conversation. He's not trying to talk to us. Right. And like, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna be like, all right, fuck him. And then but the reason why he's doing that is not because he don't fuck with us or he feel like he better.
Because he don't know how to play basketball.
But he's just not opening up. Like he's just culturally, he's just gonna stay in his corner and do his thing.
He's taught to be that
It has to
and
be
not be anything else.
In different cultures, like how you mentioned, especially in black culture, we're taught don't do it or don't get caught. In Asian culture, it's more don't do it or don't get caught. In Asian culture, it's don't do it, don't get in trouble, don't be argumentative, keep your head down if possible. Right. Like you hear people come to New York, they be like, yo, they told me when I get to New York, just walk and look down at the street. Never would a black person tell their kids that.
But I can't agree with that because I can say that there was a time when that was what was taught to black people.
What? Don't look
to keep your head down.
Oh.
Don't make any noise.
When they said those things.
Don't fight back.
Right. When they said those things.
Don't stand up for yourself.
Those is all against white people, not against each other, not against any other race. Whenever we're warned as black people, we're not warned against the world. We're warned against one person. It's always these white people will get you. White people hold you down. White people put you in jail. The judge will give you more time than father time.
Right.
Right. All of those things. It's never about how. I've never heard one incident in my whole life from my mother where she warned me or told me anything about somebody that was Asian, about somebody that was Hispanic.
Right.
Never. Never those warnings. We don't talk to our kids about going outside.
Yo,
and being
listen,
worried about Chinese
man.
people.
We ate Chinese food every Friday.
Listen.
Every Friday, every time I got a little bit of change, I go to the joint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's racist.
No,
Like,
it's not racist.
So
It's
what
not
was
racist.
What does that
It's
mean?
not racist. Those was the homies.
what was
Those
your
was the
experience?
homies,
Hold
son.
on, hold on. What was your experience with the Chinese restaurants and stuff?
Here's how they go right here.
They looked out.
I'm gonna tell you from my side.
There was a lot of times I ain't had no bread.
And they
And
held
I was
me
just
down.
hanging out outside. Hey, yo, you want something? Oh shit. Oh, I got chicken wings. Yeah, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying?
Crown Heights on Nostrand Avenue. We talk about N.A. Rock.
Yeah.
A Chinese restaurant between Eastern Parkway and Empire Boulevard and that stretch.
Right.
Annie's is the name of this Chinese restaurant.
Right.
Annie's been there for 30 years. Annie walks the streets of Crown Heights safer than the hood. Because
Facts.
if anything was to happen to her, the entire hood.
Oh no, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, you know why? Because she fed the hood. Black people's different. You go to a black person and, yo, you know this? Yeah, that's my man. I went to his house. I grew up there. I ate there a lot.
Right.
Coming from people that starve, we look at the small things as big things. You look out for me once.
I got you. Facts. There was a Jamaican beef patty spot across Eastern Parkway on Schenectady.
I know you at. I know where you at.
You walk in there, it'll blow your mind because it's nothing but Asians in there.
Right.
But they're like,
Yeah,
blood
yeah.
clot, go
Right.
in the back and get there. And you like,
For real? I gotta
yo,
go
listen,
there.
every time you're like, yo, these Asians,
I went
like,
to Trinidad.
they used to trip us out every time we went in there, like, yo, they really, and there would be Jamaicans in there hanging with them, but these were like Jamaican Chinese people.
You ever
Were they
go to
from
China?
Jamaica?
If you ever go to
Right.
Trinidad,
But they're from the Jamaica. and they spoke-
Trinidad has a huge
Facts.
Asian
Oh God,
policy.
this man.
Right.
I'm telling
Mad
you,
Asian.
like
that they're not Trinidadian.
Right.
Panama and
So-
most of the my Asian friends are from Panama, Guatemala. They speak more fluent Spanish than me.
Listen, I need everybody to be clear. The dissension or the separation does not come from the community. It comes from people outside of the community. It comes from things that are going on outside of the community. It doesn't come from the community.
Right.
Within the community,
We good.
we live harmonious. You might have grew up with there was a white boy in a block.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he hanging around, yeah, nigga, yeah, I got the nigga. We never took an issue with that.
Right.
Because you're part of our community. You going through the same shit that we going through.
Right.
We saw your moms get arrested just like I saw my uncle
Right.
get arrested.
I carried her bag.
You know what I mean?
Right.
People was trying to bully you, we was there for you. People was trying to bully me, you was there for me. So it's never within the community. Well, the thing that upsets me is sometimes the community will see some shit on the outside of it and let it affect the community. And that's wrong. When you
Like,
see people
when
on
9/11
television
happened,
saying certain shit, exactly.
Everybody was attacking the store owners that work.
Right,
First of all,
talking
and
to the
not even-
ox
right,
crazy.
they was
But the
talking
ox
same
been the homies.
leads, right.
You know what I mean? Know how many fines they paid just to sell
Yeah, Lucy's
sell
and shit.
Lucy's?
And they're
You know what I mean?
they're not
But
even the
aside from
same.
that,
They're
like-
not even the
Yeah.
same
Right.
nationality. They were like Arabic.
Yeah, but
some
they
people
we
from
ain't
Yemen.
no
Yemen,
difference.
Like
Palestinian.
everyone's different,
Right.
same as Asia.
What
So,
happens
it's
is
like
that
crazy how people are just like,
We take dissension
disgusting.
too personally. You know what I'm saying? When once the world starts talking about it, it's a personal problem for everybody.
Right.
Right.
And I'm from the hood. I have a different outlook on life. When I traveled the world, I went to seen the world with a hood view, knowing where I'm from, who
Right.
I am, how my
Right.
parents raised me. And to get around and see the rest of the world, I realized it's a hood everywhere. I've been in 7 countries, 6, 7 countries. It's a hood everywhere. I've seen every state in this country. It's a hood everywhere. And when you get to the hood, you start to see yourself. You start to see, no matter what hood you go to. I've been to Chinatown, Lower Manhattan, Chinatown. It's the hood.
Right.
You know what?
China.
They fucks with me over there. All right? Washington Heights, the hood. They fucks with me over
Right.
there. Any hood I go to, I'm from Crown Heights. I got Jewish gangsters out here. They run with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They fucks with me.
that was another thing. I had Jewish homies growing up.
Yeah. It's not.
They was cool.
It's
Smoking Udas, all
not
that shit.
the
Like,
people. It's not.
It's always on the outside
correct.
of it.
It's a politician. It's a news outlet.
Right.
It's a radio station.
And the only
It's
thing,
not though. It's systematic. Like it's coming from years of people being taught, because although in our communities, right, we are in our communities, right, but it's like if whatever your parents teach you and their parents taught them, it's like something that's kind of goes down and goes down, but it's up to like our generation at the time to say, yo, all that is out the window.
That's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
You know,
Right.
we have to stop. We have to stop.
It's a half and
You know
half
what I'm
thing with
saying?
that. Because you're right.
Think about it, like all those little white girls that are on like TikTok and shit,
Becky.
finding out that their grandmothers are mad fucking racist, and they're like, yo, like, that's
know that.
crazy,
No,
and
they
they're
do.
like shocked or whatever. But it's like,
They know.
sis,
You know.
this is how your grandmother like was raised. Like, she's fucking racist. You know what I mean? And now those younger kids are like, yo, no, like I want to be a part of this movement on stopping that, you know, so that doesn't continue to go to our kids and their kids' kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think we all kind of have these biases that we get from our parents and people that we grow up with. You know what
It's
I'm
just
saying?
turning them off.
Right.
It's just correct.
Well-
you have to learn one another and learn each other's cultures and understand where we come from and understand why we do the things they do, so that when that boy is in the corner playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I'm not looking at him like he's being antisocial. I'm just like, no, I understand your culture, so I know why you're more distant.
Right.
So it's about educating each other on each other's cultures and really loving another, you know,
Right.
loving one
And
another.
that goes back to answer, like, because I didn't fully get to answer your question, right? I feel like the thing is, it's like, all right, we just haven't had enough conversation. Like, now we're having a conversation between Asians and Black and that experience and that relationship, but that conversation has never really been had. You know what I'm saying? It's usually just like more so business, right? It's just like a business relationship, nothing really outside of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I feel like,
Got you, right.
you know, I
Like
feel
he
like
said,
there
the
should have
Chinese
been an
restaurant is
attempt.
business.
There should have been an attempt from the people of the communities to reach out and kind of like have a better understanding. But as the years went by, because of the cultures and different, you know, way of communicating, that didn't happen, right? But now it's kind of forcing it to happen. Right?
But I still to this day don't feel like it's necessarily the cultures. It's the things that people pay attention to on the outside of it.
Right.
Because within the
but
community,
still-
When you say
it's
outside,
hard to
what's-
live next
what's
door to
outside?
somebody who
But
hates
listen to
you.
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
You got free chicken wing and fried rice from the Chinese man in the store.
But it
right?
was more than that.
No, I understand. You
Right.
probably got some iced teas.
Right. Half, man. Don't be just half. half.
No, there was an Asian kid in my class named Justin. My name is Justin.
No, but listen.
So we was cool. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
No, I
it
get
was
it.
more than that.
I get it, but I'm just talking about that is a relationship you had in school. I'm talking about just getting the relationship with the person in the store, right? I'm not sitting in there, like, unless I'm sitting in there talking to you and shit like that, we're really not having
right,
a real connection.
right.
We're just being like, oh, all right, good looking, I'll give you
Yeah.
back $5. Like,
Correct.
you know, but there's not real connection. We could do that for 20 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And never have a real conversation. And you won't really, you just fuck with me, but you don't know about what my
Not necessarily, because if I appreciate your culture, if I'm exposed to your culture and I take an appreciation for it, I'm connecting.
Right.
But I'm not necessarily like hanging around Asians every day.
Right.
But I'm appreciating the culture.
That's
I'm learning
if we
about
have
Buddha,
that
learning
conversation.
about the things that, you know what I mean?
Right. That's
Right.
if you are, though. That's if you are and if we have that conversation.
Right.
But for a lot of people, they don't have that conversation. They just go and get the liquor, yo, boom,
Yeah.
boom, we out.
Peace
you know what
out.
I'm saying?
Right.
So you be surprised at how many people go in and out of the store and really don't know anything about each other.
Right.
Versus
and then
you like Hennessy.
you'll do that, right? You'll have that relationship, you know? As soon as something go left, oh, you N-word, get out of
Right,
here.
and it'll change like that. It'll
Quick.
change. It'll change
You know how many
quick.
times I've seen that?
Or I feel sorry for your mother. You know what I mean? Shit like that be going down.
Here's what
But
happens.
no, but that's
But
because
that's-
those conversations
No, it's
are
not. See, what happens is, you ever heard a nigga be like, I fuck a nigga up. I fuck a nigga up. I fuck a nigga up. Can't fight. A lick.
Right.
You can lie to yourself. And just like you can lie to yourself, depending on what information that you take into your head, it sticks. Nobody called it the China flu. But
Right.
if you hear China flu
Enough.
38,000 times, and somebody goes, well, where did Corona come from? Nigga go, China.
And then now, every time now, I'm frustrated because I'm fucking whatever. I ain't been in work, or can't leave the house, and all this shit. And then I keep on seeing this China virus, Chinese, and then I go to the store. And the lady right there, I give her attitude. Hurry the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? And it's just like, the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? So now the thing is like, what I'm saying is a communication hasn't had between, like, to really understand each other. You know what I'm saying? You have relationships with Asian people, Chinese people. So you have a different view of things, right? Because you've been exposed. But there's a lot of people that has never been exposed to that. And there's a lot of Asian people that has never been exposed to black like issues or anything like that. So when you say when the black people were going through their struggles, right? You never seen Asian people. You just seen the stores. They open up the stores, and then they close the stores. They never really there to they're not a part of the community like that. They just come. But that's not everybody. You know what I'm saying? There are Chinese people that do give back to the community, but there are people that don't. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, it's like, all right, the narrative of Chinese people just want our money, just want, and don't really want anything to do with us. I don't think that's no. I'm not saying, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that if I open up a store in this community right here, I want to be involved with the community. You feel me? I don't want to get rich off of people and not care about certain shit. Like, I want to give back because I got my money from here. Right. Am I entitled to do that? Do I have to do it? No, I don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to give back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should. As a man, morally, I should. You know what I'm saying? But am I entitled to? No.
No.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I opened up the store and I'm selling something. At the end of the day, you could buy it. You don't have to buy it, right? But I'm just here doing a job. You feel me? And at the end of the day, I leave. I go home. Should I care because I brought my kids through college off of this community, these projects right here? Should I care about these people? I should. Morally, as a person, I should care about these people. I should be pitching. I don't have to be in nobody's home and shit like that. But if there's like a basketball league and shit like that, and I done made all this money from this community and this community supported me, I'll support. Here, I
think that's what the issue is. We don't see that enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But we don't say nothing when black people open businesses in black neighborhoods and don't support as well. It's not. That's a business move. And
well, I mean, obviously, with the BLM situation, we have seen that.
No, what we've seen is that more black people have supported black businesses. Now, that statement in and of itself sounds like a problem to me. That it took for police brutality and the iPhone to bring more justice to black people across America than the justice system ever has, for us to go to the black ice cream shop and not go down the block.
I mean, but I love that it's a conversation. I love
It
that it's happening.
I like that.
It has to grow. Like, what do you want to do?
I'm
Like,
from Crown Heights.
You gotta.
I participated
you gotta
actively in the Crown Heights riots, and the conversation between the blacks and Hasidics didn't come till after. There's never been a
It's
conflict
usually like
between
Right.
black and Asian people for us to have that. We need to sit down and go, yo, listen, I fucks with y'all. I know y'all fucks with me. Why we have these problems? We never had that problem. We never had a beef like that.
But that's what he's saying. Now
It was in that.
Right.
But
You know what I mean?
Now it's not even a black people having beef with Asian people thing. It's Asian hate. And he's right about that.
Asian people, I think, yes, like there is stereotypes. There is what's the word that y'all used that wasn't racist? Prejudice. There is tons of prejudice, right?
But where does it come from?
But it comes from whatever it comes from.
It comes from Chinese people can't drive.
You
Want me to start at the beginning?
right.
How do you feel about that?
What? Chinese people can't drive?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I drive.
He's like,
but what I'm saying is like with the Asian shit is like wait, what was I saying? What was I saying? And you asked the question before.
Where does it come from?
Yeah, where does it come from?
Right. Where it comes from. Asian people get shit just like everybody else. There's no black people in China. Well, there is now.
There is.
No, now.
Yeah.
Now. I'm talking about like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, no black people, probably a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But now you see a lot more. You see more Africans out there. But that's new, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm talking about all these people that came in and opened up the shops and shit like that. They never been around black people. This is when they opened up the shop on Gates and Nostrand or wherever the fuck they opened it up at. That's the first time they encountered black people.
But they got a government grant.
Whatever
to
they
open
got,
a business.
whatever they got, you know what I'm saying?
In the
Whatever they
community.
got, they used this shit,
Right.
and they came up off of it. You feel me? However they got it, you feel me? But now what I'm saying is they don't have relationship with black people before that, so it's like you can't hate nothing that you don't really never have any interaction with. You know what I'm saying? Like me coming from China, there's not really a lot of black people there, so I just more than anything, I don't hate y'all. I just look at y'all like, y'all different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at you guys like, you know, more fascinated than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because
So, all right. From you growing up, what were the things before you had like black friends and Spanish
Right.
friends and all that? What was the thought?
stay away from black people.
Why?
Because
They smoke crack. They steal.
shit
news.
like that. Shit
Everything
like
on
that.
the news.
Shit like that.
the news.
The news, television.
They're gonna rob you. They're gonna do that. They're gonna beat you up. They're gonna do all that type of shit, right? I remember, like my grandfather didn't let me go in. He said that if you're gonna talk to a black kid, you can't come back in this house. And I didn't go back in the house. I was like, I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 4 or some shit. 6, I don't know, right? But I was young. And, you know, and that's what I experienced.
But that
as a kid.
started from you having a relationship with a black friend
In school.
Right.
that was important to you.
Right.
Who was,
Black.
but who was the person?
I don't even know. I never seen him after that.
What do you mean?
So what happened was.
But you had a friend.
All right. What happened was my grandfather lived in Brooklyn, right? He lived in like by Brownsville area, like somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I lived there for a little bit, right? And then when I was a kid, I went to school. I was zoned to a school there. My first 2-3 days there, I go to the school. When my grandfather comes and picks me up, I'm standing outside talking to a black kid. And when I go in the car, he looks in the mirror and tells me if he catches me talking to another black kid, I can't go in the house. So when we got in the house, I stayed my ass outside. I stood right on the fucking the steps,
Yeah.
and I said, "Call my mother. I'm not going inside. Fuck you." You know what I'm saying? And my mom came and picked me up. You know what I'm saying? So, so that I was going through that shit since a kid. You know what I mean? And then
But he had an experience.
No, but
With black
again, it's
people.
like
I
what
don't
was
think he
saying,
had
your
a personal
parents,
experience.
it's
You don't
like
think
not
he ever got
spread
robbed or he got beat
he
up?
might have, but
right.
you know.
But he might have been taught that from
Right.
his family, his
Right.
parents. You know?
Or he might have. You heard.
He
what
might have
said.
got robbed and
He
beat up.
said, He
Right.
said,
But
my
it's
grandfather
not-
lived
we're not
in
gonna be-
Brownsville.
But it's not out of hate. That's the thing.
Right.
It's not out of hate. You feel me? Like the Asian prejudice that I've experienced isn't.
Hate.
I hate black people.
It's caution.
It's I'm scared of black people.
Caution.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like when I see a black person, I don't hate you. I don't want to kill you. I want to cross the street because what I've learned is that you might rob me, you might kill me, you might punch me, you might do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And what's that from? I don't know. But
Could be rap.
Right, it could be media. it
He
could
might
be
have seen an
a whole bunch
Onyx
of shit.
video.
No.
But it's not.
You know what I'm
but it's-
saying?
Let me tell you, the
I'm just
scariest
saying.
thing at one point in America, right? And we're talking about the entire late 70s to pretty much 2000. The scariest words in America were young black male. Okay?
That's real.
That's very real. So,
To the point where it affects us.
And that's the same shit. That's the media. That's how they painted the black people at the time. And this is how they playing Asian people.
But it's not just that. It's like, all right, so like I travel a lot. And if I stay at a hotel where there's mad black people,
you like this.
I start to feel
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
nervous, like,
Maybe I didn't
what's
get a good
going
enough hotel.
on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Like-
thought this was a 5-star. And I had to check myself, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like seriously, like,
I've been there.
What kind of programming did I accept at some point
That
to
if
where I feel uncomfortable around my people? You feel what I'm saying?
Young black
It's
man.
programming that's coming from the outside. It's not necessarily like it's not
Right,
a
I feel-
community.
yeah.
You feel
Right.
me? You went to school. All right. You got kids?
Nah.
I got kids.
Mm.
You take a kid to a playground.
He balling out with everybody.
You let him loose. He
don't
give a
care about
fuck
that.
Because kids
what
are
color he's
innocent.
playing with.
Kids
Right.
are
As long as
innocent.
He don't care if your
Until they
eyes
are
squinting. He don't
smart.
care if you
learn
white,
that.
you got blonde hair.
You learn
He
it.
don't give a fuck.
Right. Let's hit the slide.
He's like, yo, you want to slide? You want me to push you on the swing? They don't care.
Right. Prejudice is taught at home. And I wasn't lying. When I said prejudice is taught at home, I wasn't bullshit when I said Chinese people can't drive. You know when I learned racism? I'm gonna tell you when I learned racism. I was on a Sunday morning, on the way to church with my mother. She was driving. I was sitting in the back seat. She looked out the window. She said, "These motherfucking coconuts drive me crazy." And we kept going to church. Took me 2 days before I mustered up the balls to go, "Hey, mommy,
What's a coconut?
jackpot." She said the West Indian people. Now, that's the division that, and it's not something that Asian people have. Black people can look at each other and go, Haitian, that's a sapa. Jamaican, that's a coconut.
Asian people do that too.
That's what I said
Right.
too?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even
Bro,
know.
listen, Chinese people from this province, like we look at Hong Kong people from Hong Kong looked at mainland China like less civilized and this, and then we look at Cambodians and Filipinos and Japanese people look at us wrong, and Korean people hate us and we hate them, and
So who's the black people in your culture?
Koreans.
No, I think they're the most.
Koreans. He know he know
Who's the black people in your culture?
what do you mean black people?
Like who are the people that people consider like you need to stay away
It
from?
depends who you are. It depends what experience. Like Korean people, like older Korean people would say Japanese people. Older Chinese people would say Japanese people
Because they oppressed
of the
them.
war, because of the oppression that
Right.
they experienced,
Right.
right? And then people from fucking Cambodia or Vietnam might say something else. You feel me? Like
Right.
it just depends who's asking the question and who's answering the question. You feel me? Because there's just you know what I mean? Like but.
What's dope about this, I feel like the China Act is like the bridge, like for this situation right now.
You gotta speak up because you're not mic'd up, bro.
The situation that's been going on, I think China Mag is like the bridge for that with the Asians and the blacks.
Right.
Like he knows, like he said, he knows both sides.
Right.
He's been through both sides when he's real young.
But I mean, I'd say he's an information giver, but the bridge has always been there.
Right.
Because we live around each other.
Right.
Technically,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if so the movement that you're running, if somebody wanted to contribute and kind of be a part of it, like what should we do?
I mean, I think my movement is like different than other people's movement. My movement is, hey, listen, you know what I mean? Asian people, we gotta toughen the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna have to start uniting together because we don't know when these issues are gonna stop. They don't
Right.
look like they're gonna stop anytime soon because it doesn't look like the battle with China is gonna end anytime soon. So as long as that shit's there, this shit is still gonna be there, right? You know what I'm saying? So now, I feel like my message to my Asian people is okay. You know what I mean? There's an issue. There's an issue that is beyond us saying, oh, you know, and we shouldn't point fingers. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like, oh, black people are attacking us. You know what I'm saying? Because last time I checked, the last 3 murders happened from white people.
White people,
You know what I'm
facts.
saying? And then I seen Spanish people doing it. I seen black people doing it. I seen all types of people doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we need to be worrying about any particular
Right.
race right now. You feel me?
It's a mentality.
What I do think we need to be worried about is us realizing that there is an issue and that we have to come together, right? And then we're gonna have to protect our communities a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever that means, right? But we're gonna have to, this shit ain't gonna stop until we step up and say, you know, we're gonna protect our own community. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not real people. It's not you going in these communities and beating up 89-year-old women. You know what I'm saying? It's just some random people. And you have to understand, not only is Asian crime up, crime is up.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? My bro Gutter and Prince, they run Citizen app. Yo, they are hiring people left and right. You know why? Because there's so much crime going on. You know what I'm saying? Crime in New York City is up. Crime in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, in all of these different places, up.
Right.
Well,
It's
money's
up.
down, crime
Money's down, crime is up.
Right.
You feel me? So now, what we experiencing is shit, is worldly shit. So yeah, of course, there's Asian attacks. You know what I'm saying? But it's not more than fucking everything else that's
been
happening.
going on to black
right?
people,
But it's
whatever.
been
you know what I mean? All that shit.
Right, but it's happening, and it's
Right.
happening, and we can't say, oh no, that shit is fake. You know what I'm saying? Like people be trying to tell me that, oh, it's fake. Like that shit's really not happening. You tell that to the person that I went to the hospital and she was like sitting next to her husband who was fucking fighting for his life, got stomped, his head stomped to the ground, just walking one of these streets, picking up cans. He got beat up for no fucking reason. He's fighting for his life. You tell that to their family. You tell that to their daughter that's crying, that don't know if his father. This shit ain't fake. You know what I'm saying?
So let me
That's
ask you a
whack.
question. With this movement that you have, do you look at your black friends and be like, yo, y'all coming out?
No,
Why not?
because this some shit we gotta do. You feel me? If you come out, yeah, I might be like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you come out, I never say, yo, come out with me. You know what I'm saying? If you come out, you come out. You know what I'm saying? Just like.
But why wouldn't you ask them like, yo?
Because it's something that we have to handle first. This is our community first before it's your community. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't ask anybody to, that's like if some shit is happening in my house, I have to make sure that I do what I can first. Anybody else that come, that's a blessing.
But I don't agree with that because I feel like community is not a color, it's not a race.
Right.
So
It's
if
not.
you got homies that really ride for you,
You shouldn't have to ask.
like if China Mac got a problem,
Then I
and you
shouldn't
pick
ask
up the
them.
phone,
Right, you shouldn't ask
this is
them.
what I'm saying.
Shouldn't
This is
have
what
to
I'm
ask.
saying. Like those people
But
should
I'd
be
rather-
there, and it shows, yo, we stand together.
Right.
And
but
that-
what
and
I'm
that
saying
kinda
is
thwarts
that's
the
not
people who are
something
looking like,
that's not something
oh,
that
we
I
go-
need
we
to
go.
ask on.
Right.
Right.
Why do I have to ask you?
To
You know what I'm
support me
saying?
when you
If I ask you, then that means it really wasn't on your mind like that. So I would rather just, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I need to ask anybody, but I don't think I come from a school where we gotta handle shit ourselves first.
Right.
We gotta look within ourselves. You know what I mean? Well, who's on this block? Is shit happen right here? Who's on this block? I'm not gonna call you all the way in fucking Harlem to come or Brooklyn.
Nah,
to
fuck
come.
that. Pick up the phone,
No,
bro.
but what I'm saying is,
But
you have to
This how I
understand.
feel.
No, as a
So
friend, I
predominantly, you
understand
want
how
to
you friend.
unify Asians primarily, right?
I want to unify the
you wanna
people, but what I'm
unify
saying
your
is,
people.
if this shit happened in your neighborhood, right? If this shit happened, where you from?
Brooklyn.
You from Brooklyn. So if this shit was happening
Black.
and a bunch of Puerto Rican ladies getting punched in the mouth, right? A bunch of Puerto Rican ladies getting cut, little babies getting beat up, like shit like that is happening. What is gonna happen? The community, the people is gonna come out first. Like, nah, this shit's not happening out here. Just like what I saw when people was looting, that shit didn't happen in Dykeman. You know why it ain't happen in Dykeman? Because all the motherfuckers
Wow.
came outside. I wish y'all motherfuckers would come out
That shit
here.
was
Right.
so dope.
Right.
That shit was great.
But you know
Because
what? And
stick
this is
together.
kind of the advantage
Stick
of
together.
Hispanics. When you see that go down, there, the people that's coming outside are my color, her color, every other color.
Right,
And they identify themselves as Hispanic.
right,
But
complexion-wise,
complexion-wise, they
None of
cover
them
the
match.
spectrum.
right.
You know what I mean? So people look at it from the outside and see the movement and be like, oh, black people are with them.
Right.
white people
this
with
people are
them,
with
right?
them. Right.
No.
And I feel like for us to fix these issues, it can't just be, yo, all the Asians get together. It can't
But
be.
that's not what I'm saying.
It can't be.
No, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying everybody of the community
You're saying that's where it
needs
should
to come
start.
together.
That's where
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we need to start. Like I'm not. If you live in my community, you're part of the community.
Right.
skin complexion you are, whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, whatever is happening in the community, we need to start taking care of ourselves first.
I agree, because if Asians don't stand up for Asians, who
Then
will?
why? Yeah.
It's
What,
not
like,
about the word he used. I'm gonna stick with that word.
No.
Community.
And I need y'all to really be
And no,
clear on this.
I'm gonna be clear on this.
Because
Reason-
if you've been to any Black Lives Matter marches,
I have.
Everybody.
It's the spectrum.
Everybody.
I was the first.
Yo, I don't know if you heard at these Black
It was
Lives
mostly
Matter marches
white
when they
people when I
stop,
was there.
they be
More white
like,
people.
all the white people in the front.
Yeah.
And you know why they do that?
All the white people in the front.
I'm gonna tell you why they do that. Because
Yeah.
Dr. King did that. Dr. King said that we're gonna have to go through the struggle. They're probably gonna kick our asses.
No, it's
We
because
need
it's like,
nobody
yo,
in here
throw these, like,
to
their
raise a
favorite,
violent hand.
to use your
And I
white
need y'all in
privilege
the
for a
front.
good reason.
I need y'all in the front.
I need y'all in the
So
front.
people see
See.
Yeah.
that it's not just us.
All right.
The
Right.
world, every other race
Right.
is feeling the way that we feel,
Use
and
your
they're with our
privilege.
movement.
And if you pay attention to King,
Yeah.
King didn't
Facts,
fight a
facts,
war
facts,
of racism. He fought a publicity.
Against propaganda.
Against propaganda. He fought a publicity war. He said, if we show them exactly what these people are doing to us, then they can't deny it. And sure enough, after King and his people got their ass whipped on that summer bridge, the world seen that. And the world stood.
So in your situation, if people are beating up Asians, and you march out, you got Asians with you, you got black people with you, you got Hispanics with you. The other Asians who are looking for support, they see that, and it kind of turns off whatever negative prejudices they have against the Asians, against the Hispanics, the blacks, and it makes the community even safer.
right.
You dig what I'm
He's
saying?
not disagreeing.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just that I don't feel like it's anybody else's responsibility but the people of the community.
It's everybody.
So, let me ask you
No,
a
I'm
question.
talking about it's everybody, but what I'm saying is it's our responsibility first.
First.
If you come, then you come.
I got you.
Then I appreciate you, my brother. I
Right.
appreciate. I'm not gonna say, oh no, you black, you can't come in this movement.
Right.
I want you to come, please come.
Right.
So here's my question.
But I'm not gonna be like, yo, why the fuck you not coming, man?
But not even why you not coming, but like more of the people who might think that I'm attacking Asians only, but I'm black,
Yeah.
and they see black people.
There are black people that come to
It's
these
thwarted.
events.
It's
There are
thwarted
black
from
people,
that moment.
There are black people that come to these events, but it's not like, it's definitely more Asians than black people. But you
but I
do
feel
see
like-
black people coming.
It's not in America, bro.
You need
Let's
to-
be real.
You need a spectrum.
Let's be real. None of us supposed to be here.
No, at all.
Right.
This is somebody else's. This is a whole nother racist country, and they exactly.
Native Americans.
You know what I mean? So if you call yourself American, it's time for us to drop this whole color shit. Because it don't even make sense no more. Because this ain't our land.
No.
We're a bunch of different races that's here living together. That's
Right.
what makes America America. Period. Period. So there's no reason and you should have a movement and no other race is involved.
No, see the
or
thing.
you should have a movement and no other race is involved.
He said it right.
No, I get what he's
No,
saying.
but the wall is different. Let me tell you why the wall is different. He said the Asian community or the community, right? Now, I speak for because I'm from Crown Heights. Crown Heights is an official melting pot.
We got everything.
When things happen in
Everything.
Crown Heights, it's not just the Asian community. It's the Asians, the Hispanics,
The Jews.
right, the Jews. And when we come together and go, we have a problem here, the mayor listens.
And that's how it's. And
That's how it's
that's
supposed
good.
to be. You know what I'm saying? But when you have because the way that these neighborhoods are set up, so the community in Chinatown is just Chinese.
Right.
The community in Little Italy or in Queens is just Italians. The community in Crown Heights and Brownsville, Bed-Stuy
But then,
is just black.
But then you have people that just don't care about community.
That's facts.
You got people that will watch a 70-year-old grandmother just get punched in the face
And not help.
and don't do anything,
absolutely.
and just pull out the camera and just be like, you know what I'm saying? You have that, whether it's to an Asian person, a black person, a white person, whatever it
Yeah.
is, it's happening. You feel me? So people just aren't about community like that anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Well, I'm not gonna say they're not. I think they don't have enough encouragement.
I've seen so much
That's-
positive
but-
protesting that I can't
world
really say.
I agree. But the world changes, things change. I think this is why I'm saying, yo, my message to the Asian people is we have to take care of each other right now. You know what I'm saying? And not to shun anybody else out, because like my movement is not just like Asian people. I welcome everybody. But right now, our Asian people needs to, you know what I mean? We need some type of strength. You know what I'm saying? We need unity. We need to come together. We need to console each other. We need to teach each other. And we need to prepare each other for whatever may happen. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I don't think that we should ever be asking anybody to be depending on anybody to come and help us. You know what I'm saying? Like if people come and help and people come and fight with us, then that's appreciated. We appreciate y'all. Just like the black people didn't wait for nobody else to fight the civil rights and shit like that. They didn't wait for fucking anybody else to come. They fought.
But as far as the community, I know Misfit is gonna show up.
Right.
I know she's gonna be out there. Black Lives Matter. I know it. Why? Because she's already part of a community where black people live and they're her friends.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is, me as an Asian person, and I don't know, like I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I'm not speaking for all Asian people. But what I've seen, my personal experience, I haven't seen Chinese people in my neighborhood worried about fighting for black injustices as a kid. Or I never seen it. I didn't see it.
It's not until it affects them.
Right?
It's
So now what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that, that's
Is that the reason you feel like you shouldn't expect to be fought for?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I feel like is like, yo, bro, at the end of the day, everybody went through their shit. Everybody got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We going through our shit. We got to figure it out. If somebody helps us, then thank God. You know what I'm saying? But fuck all that. We not waiting. I don't wait for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Wait for what? That's like somebody saying, oh, you want to be a rapper? Oh, then these other people from your neighborhood should fucking support you. You going to wait for them to support you? No, you got to go and do your own thing. You got to go and make your own thing. And then they like, you know what, I fuck with you because you did that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it yourself. And that's the same fucking thing. It's like, yo, our struggle is now. Our struggle is here. So we shouldn't be waiting for anybody to help us with our struggle. You know what I'm saying? We should step up and help ourselves. And then after that, anybody that want to come and help, we welcome them. You know what I'm saying? And not even just after, right now. Like if you say, yo, Mac, you got something tomorrow, I want to pull up. I'm
pulling up.
Right? But this is what I'm saying. So it's not, I don't want to segregate shit. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that the people understand that, hey, we have to protect ourselves before we expect anybody else to protect and step up for us. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Nobody would have fought for the black people if they didn't step up themselves first. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And y'all fought for so long before anybody, like that Black Lives Matter thing, that shit was just recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you see all these people coming and
it's been going on for years.
Yeah,
so
but
we've been fighting for civil rights in America for ever. All right, so let me just say this to the world before we move any further. It's not just his community. It's not his community, it's our community.
Right.
As
it's
a
our
human,
community.
I'm a human being. All right? Because it's only black, white, Latino, Chinese until one of you niggas need a liver or a kidney. Then I'm a compassionate human being. At that point. At that point, race don't matter. All right? When life and death is on the line, it don't matter. It's not about just being an Asian community or a black community. The minute that we have those lines in the sand, they've already
Mac, you from Brooklyn.
Right,
you from Brooklyn.
I was born in Brooklyn. I'm from everywhere in New York City. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, that's what I'm recognizing.
Right.
He's from Brooklyn.
It's my man from the hood.
We got to ride.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and if we was in, and listen, if we look back in the days, right? If you from Brooklyn, I'm from the Bronx, we beefing.
Right.
You know, we fighting, we whatever, right? But if me and you left and went to motherfucking, and we was locked up in Los Angeles together, it don't matter what borough you from.
York.
We together.
Right.
That's what the word civil war comes from. Civil war is constantly, no matter what.
You know how many New York rappers I've linked up with
outside of New York.
town.
Right.
That's when it's gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen.
Niggas that never talk to me.
In the city.
In the city.
You see niggas out
You
of
see
town.
them out of town.
Oh, we
oh,
from the
you
town.
out here? Oh,
Yeah.
yo, let me show
We
you
from
around.
the
Let me
town.
da-da-da.
Right. Like I said, if we really want to win in America, like I said, it's very simple. Everybody that has the hyphen. If you have a hyphen in your name, then we all need to stand together in this place. African American, Asian American, Hispanic American. You take all everybody, because a hyphen means that you a second-class citizen, period. Why we aren't just all Americans? We born here, you born here,
Right.
I'm born here,
Right.
That makes us American citizens,
Right.
outright. My passport and everything
Period.
else, right, from
Right.
here. But that we get those titles tells you that they consider us second class.
Right.
So the second class should only stop at the hyphen. We shouldn't look at each other any different from that.
Right.
Because anything, who said that if it happens, if one man isn't free, then nobody's free.
Right.
Right. Well, that's the same thing here. If they'll do it to us, police brutality,
Right.
assaults, they'll do it to the Asian community.
They would.
They'll do it
You know what I'm
to
saying?
you.
But
Right.
they just not doing it now. But
it's not-
listen, if all black people were to just like leave America right now,
Y'all
and tomorrow
next.
there'd be no more black people in America. Guess what?
Y'all next.
Somebody else is gonna take that place.
Right.
Believe that. Somebody's gonna take.
Somebody else is gonna be the bottom of the
gonna
bottom.
fill
Right.
up.
Somebody-
Somebody's gonna fill up them prison systems.
Jackpot.
You know why? Because that shit is money.
That shit is money.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's the question. Are they gonna rap as good as us?
Who? Listen, I know a few things. Let me say a few things.
Nah,
fuck.
this is the transition.
bars. He
This is
got
the
bars.
transition. This is how I like the transition.
Yeah.
Matt,
What's up?
what made you love hip hop?
Yo, bro, hip hop was just like, when I was introduced to it, I was like 8 years old in a group home. I went to my first group home at Abbott House. You know what I'm saying?
Abbott House, I remember that.
You remember Abbott
Yes,
House?
I remember Abbott
Right,
House.
they put you.
I got
so-
threatened with Abbott House before.
Right, they
Yeah.
put me in Abbott House. I was young, bro. I was 8 years old. I remember I had the Chinese fucking dinosaur sneakers that lit up when you walk, but my shit was cheap, so you had to like, boom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the stomp.
Like, I had the bowl haircut. My mom gave me to put the bowl.
line.
She dad gave me the line, whatever.
Right.
Boom. I walked in there, bro, like a fish out of the water. You know what I'm saying? Everybody teasing me. Everybody making fun of me. People like, you know what I'm saying, throwing spitballs at me, smacking me, like, you know what I'm saying, like fucking teasing me, like, you know, shit like that.
Right.
And I was going through that shit every day.
Because you was different.
Because I was different.
Right.
But it wasn't that. And what I realized, it wasn't because the kids hated me.
Toughen
It
this
was
shit
just that
up.
I was different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they had a different type of way of dealing with things, right? It was just so different to me.
Right.
They were aggressive. I didn't come from aggressive, like, you know what I'm saying? Like an aggressive upbringing. People was aggressive and you had to like,
Right.
you had to really, you know, so it took me a while to understand that world, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
once I understood that, you know, I remember, I said this shit before, I woke up one morning and I went to go, so what happened was, I woke up, somebody was playing with my face or some shit. I woke up and I did like this, and I had mad fucking cream in my face, like this, boom.
Old school
I
crack.
woke up and I had shit all in my hair, you know what I'm saying? My fucking shit was wet. And I was like, yo, what the fuck, bro? And
Why they fucking with me?
everybody laughing and shit.
Right.
They giggling in their beds, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody moving, but you hear the giggling. So I'm just like, boom, you know what I'm saying? So I put my sneakers on, and then somebody's like, the shit is wet. So somebody's like, oh, he stepped in them. That's pee, that's pissed. Like they were saying they pissed in my sneakers. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was so like humiliated. I was standing there like humiliated, frustrated, like I felt embarrassed, everything. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I was mad. And I went into the staff office, right? And the staff, I was telling him, sobbing, like, they did all this to me, put this in my hair, they pissed in my sneaker. And he looked at me, right? And he was like, that shit ain't never gonna stop until you start fighting back. Right? And he said that to me. He was like, you want that shit to stop? I could go and do that, but they're gonna do that to you again.
Right.
You want this shit to stop? You gotta start fighting back.
Right.
So nobody ever told me that before. You know what I'm saying? So then once you know,
Once you got it, he was like,
the
"That's
next
it?"
day, the next
"That's
day,
it?"
they started fucking
Oh,
with me
okay.
again, and then I'm just like, you know what? The next somebody said ching chong to me, I punched him in the mouth.
Boom.
Boom.
Bomb.
Then we started fighting and shit, and then after that, I just started fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll fight. Fuck it. We'll just
Right.
fight. And then people that shit started. It wasn't there no more. You feel me?
Right.
It started now. There was like a respect, and then hip hop was. I seen these kids. They used to take us in a van and take us to Harlem on field trips. And show us different shit, take us to the movie, shit like that, if we good, right?
Right.
So they took me to Harlem, but I remember I went in this fucking car and they was playing KRS-One. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to KRS-One.
Shout out to
Blast
KRS.
Master T.
And that song, got myself a Uzi and my brother.
But
Nah.
love is gonna get you.
Love's gonna.
Yo, bro, I swear to
Love
God.
is gonna get you.
I swear to
That
God.
was my
I
joint.
ain't know you were, yo.
Nigga, I was like 5, like, love is gonna get you.
Right.
Yo,
I was in
yo,
back of that bus, like in back of that van, and seeing these kids rapping that shit, and like I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and I wanted to be a part of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I was the sore thumb. I was the person that didn't fit in.
Right.
So I embraced hip hop so much because it was like something that I wanted to, you know what I mean? I wanted to use that to like, you know, embrace. And I love that culture. Like, it's my culture too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like I grew up with it. It
Right.
showed me a lot. It taught me a lot.
It's universal, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It's universal.
Yeah, I'll be honest. So when I was young, one of the best rappers that I knew growing up, was half black, half Asian,
That's crazy.
and he was
Nice.
Bars, right.
retarded.
Listen,
His name was Hez, and he was.
tearing niggas off, huh? Listen.
And I used to be amazed by that. But your experience was similar to my experience.
Right.
When I came back from the islands. It was the same thing. You talk funny. Oh, you gotta fight this person. Or this person is picking on you. And it wasn't until I started fighting back that people was like, okay, we cool
Right.
with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, and that's you know, that's basically what, you know, I'm telling that, you know, our people we have to do, right? But hip hop, bro, honestly, bro, like I love hip hop, but hip hop got me into a lot of shit too. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop fucked my mind.
That's a
up.
fact. That's a fact.
Listen.
That's real.
Wait, here's the crazy part is I'm sitting here thinking about the first, like when I was young, I ain't never weighed a lot. And when I was a kid, I was real short. And I remember my old man was a Muslim dude, but he was really into black power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I came home and I was like, yo, black eye, whole shit, swole up. I said, yo, you know, what I'm gonna do? And here's what he told me. He said, if you look in history, there's no people that ever came out of oppression with a conversation. And I was like this. He said, stop talking.
Gotta fight.
Stop talking to these niggas.
Right.
I haven't talked since. They be like, Seth, you too wild. You could have handled that better. Nope, he could have handled that better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He could have not did what he did. Don't
Right.
blame me for how I reacted and call it an overreaction.
Right.
It's a reaction. So I stopped talking a long time ago.
Yeah.
I like to laugh and joke and ha ha ha.
Right.
And the minute that shit don't work, I go right back to my old man. Oh, these niggas is trying to oppress me and hold me back. Bow. You don't get
What
out
do you
of
do?
Listen, and my old man wasn't lying. I looked in history. In history, we are the only people, Black Americans, that have ever tried to negotiate our way out of anything. Everybody else fought. And there's a reason that we're still here fighting civil rights for 60, 70 years. It's because we having this conversation. And as long
Right.
as you keep talking to these niggas,
It's gonna be what it is.
it's gonna be what it is. It's gonna be what it is. But
So
that's
what-
why
what-
when he
what-
said that, I smiled. The smile on my face was like,
Yeah.
yeah, punch
Okay.
one of these niggas in their shit, son.
Facts. So you started punching motherfuckers
Right.
in their shit.
And then I just started fighting. Everybody was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, bro. I used to have a black eye. After I left that spot, I went to another spot. I used to have
Black
a black
eye.
eye.
Black eye, right.
Sixth
Every
grade.
fucking, I used
Black
to have
eye.
a black eye. I used to wear that black eye
Like
like
a
I wore
badge,
my sneakers,
right,
bro.
right.
I used to have a black eye the whole trip, because after the Abbott House shit, I went to another spot called Berkshire Farm, right? and that was like cottages, like mad people and shit. And I used to fight, I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck where you wanted to fight, how you wanted to fight, I'm fighting. You know what I'm saying? And I used to have a black eye all the time. You know what I mean? But motherfuckers respecting my shit.
Right.
You feel me? Like motherfuckers was like, nah, you know, he not gonna take it. And whether I win, lose, or draw, I'm not gonna let you do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, not without a fight.
And I think that's where we as human beings connect. We connect with, I'm gonna fight
I'm going to fight.
to live
Well,
for what I stand for myself, for my respect.
Right.
That's the thing that makes us connect. When you watch a video or a viral video or somebody being harassed and they finally stand up and they start fighting,
you like this.
you're like,
Yeah. That's what's
because
up.
deep down within yourself, we've all been in those positions and we look for that. So it's like we identify with it. We go, okay, you're one of us.
Nobody wants to see, and I don't care who you are. I know some slime balls on earth. Nobody likes to see that kind of shit, being bullied and picked on. And that's a bitch move. It's always been a bitch move.
Always
Yeah.
been.
You know what I'm saying?
Always
But the minute that you fighting back, even when, because he said it right, win, lose, or draw. Now, I've had a bunch of fights. I've never won them all. But the niggas I fought and lost, they don't want to fight twice.
Right.
I might have lost, but the
then,
nigga don't want to
yeah.
do this again.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta respect it.
But yeah, I mean, what's your favorite hip hop song of all time?
Favorite hip hop song of all time.
Hard.
Damn, of all time.
What you got?
I'm interested.
One song, bro.
What you got?
One song. Man, that's tough. Can I Live, Jay-Z?
Me. What you got?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Nas, and I'm gonna say Nas, Halftime.
And ma'am?
That's too hard.
It's a Fat Joe record, isn't it?
It's a Fat Joe record, is it?
Let's talk about prejudice now.
She like Punisher.
Damn.
What is it?
What you got?
That's a hard question, man. I don't even think I have a all time.
No all time?
That's probably like the hardest question.
Well, the first
you
song
could ask.
that has the most like value in your head right now.
Right.
The most value.
The most value.
Just pick one. You could change it later.
Shit. The most value. It has to be hip hop.
It could be anything.
Wait, no, go ahead.
No, it don't have to be.
What you gonna say?
Bro, where you about to go, man? Where you about to go?
I love that Guantanamo.
You about to go Nirvana on niggas? Like, what you about to do, son?
I would say, it's horrible.
Let's keep it hip hop. Let's keep it hip hop.
Alright.
Yeah, let's keep it.
Cause predominantly like when I think of like music that's like stuck, you know, other genres come to mind, but hip hop.
You rap, that's why.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess maybe something that kind of stood out, it would have to probably be something from the Jay-Z Dynasty album.
The Dynasty album?
Yeah, one of those records.
Pick one.
The whole thing, man. Damn.
You don't know what record? Yeah. This
I
can't
don't
be
know,
life.
It's tough. I mean, I like that record. I love
Change
them.
the Game.
I love them all. Change the Game is great. Ugh,
There's
God,
gotta be one record.
they're all so fucking great. I could listen to Dynasty from one to
Yes.
over and over.
Man, it's an Eve
yeah,
record. She fronting. It's an
It's
Eve
an Eve
record.
record.
It's an Eve record.
It's an Eve record.
I'm a fan of Eve. I'm a fan of Eve. It could be even, you know,
The one her man was whooping her ass, her friend's ass.
I'm mad at you right now.
Love is
What?
blind.
Love is blind. I love that.
You know,
And
I-
it'll take over your mind.
It's crazy.
That's your baby joint?
No, hell no. It's crazy because the song, like, I don't even think is like like pleasing. Like the voice is not, but the song was fire.
Yeah.
But she
But you
can't
like it.
sing. Yeah, but it's definitely not my fucking top record. It was like one of those radio things that it plays a lot. But respect to Eve. I respect Eve 100%.
You really can't decide? You can't
And
decide.
that's hard, bro. Like, I don't
Eve
even
got
know
the
how
Paw
y'all
Patrol
answer
Just
shit.
pick
that.
one. Just pick one. I know Can I Live, but I could go back and say Keep Your Head Up, Tupac. I could go back and say Juicy, Biggie.
Right.
Like I
Just
could go
pick
back
one.
and just pick one.
Biggie. It could be. Oh my God.
What was your record?
Yeah, what do you dance to? What do you be in the club like this to? What do-
I listen to a lot of
Oh,
shit.
that like gasolina.
Oh, that's it.
What is going? The most prejudiced episode
time out.
ever.
Yo,
We
it's
talk
great.
about
Why
prejudice.
is it prejudice?
Because.
I like that song.
You shouldn't
What
have
do you
picked
mean?
that
But
song. You
why?
should have
Would
said.
you have asked him Gasolina?
No, because he's
No,
Asian.
I probably would have said some other shit.
Because
that
that's you're prejudiced.
just made sense
And this
that
is
way,
why we
you know what I
gotta
mean?
have these
You messed up.
conversations, y'all.
You shouldn't have
All
said
right.
Guys
I'm
like
fucking
that,
with you. I said
that
bad
say
joke.
gasolina to the
I
Spanish
said
You should
bad
have
guy.
said
joke.
And
suavemente.
say he eats
Suavemente.
Chinese food to the
That's
Spanish
suave.
guy.
All right, so what's your
Chinese
joint?
guy.
What's your joint? Is it Naughty by Nature?
Well, you know what? All right, cool, bet. Wu-Tang.
Woo. Can't go
For
wrong.
sure. Wu-Tang, the one where the, oh my God, what's the name of the song?
Cash rules.
No,
everything.
not Cash
Wu-
Rules.
Wu-Tang
Can't be
Forever.
that it was all so
The
simple.
one, yes.
Wu-Tang Forever.
Forever.
Wu-Tang
Right.
Forever.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That's a good
yes,
song.
Yes.
What's yours?
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna be
yes.
honest, y'all. I'm gonna tell you why it's two songs. The first one is gonna be Tribe Called Quest, Lyrics to Go, and it's two-part. Fife and Tip. As far as lyrics go, murdered it. But that beat and that little half a minute that they gave you at the end, I wrote so many rhymes to that little section. That song
Right.
has to be my favorite.
Yo, shout out to Q-Tip. I
Yeah.
ran into him at LES. He said he's gonna do the show this year.
Yo, Tip, I'm holding you to those words.
I'm holding you to
I'm
those
holding you
words
to those
too.
words.
And if you know Q-Tip,
Yeah.
let him know Math is holding him to those
Right.
words. All
The
right.
second song, though, the second song that means the most to me, as
Right.
far as hip hop, and I don't really tell people this shit, it's gonna be Biggie Small, Suicidal Thoughts. And the reason why is because I've lived all those lyrics. You ever heard a song like Ghostface?
Hold on. Wait.
I've lived all those
Wait.
Everything except blowing my brains out. I've lived them all.
When I die, forget I
I
wanna go to hell, cause I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to fucking tell.
It
Don't make sense going to heaven with the goody goodies dressed in all.
Black
Tims and black hoodies, gotta probably have me on some real
strict
shit.
No
No sleeping all day.
No getting my dick lit.
Uh-huh.
Hanging out in heaven. We're lounging in
Paradise.
paradise.
Fuck that shit. I wanna shoot tote guns and shoot
Shoot
dice.
dice.
All my life I've been considered as the worst. Lying out my moms if you're stealing out a purse. Okay, we've been
Crime
there.
after
The
crime.
through drugs and extortion.
I know
My mama wish she had a fucking an abortion.
Right, I've lived it all.
That's
I
really
never stole out my
depressing.
mother's
Right.
purse.
You know
I never
what?
stole
That's
out my
really
mom's purse.
depressing.
We
Welcome
don't
to
do
the
those things on
80s,
this
90s
side.
New York
Don't
City.
steal from your mama.
My mother was a single mother. My step-papa stepped in and
That's
he did
even
everything
worse.
he could. But I made sure that I pumped gas and robbed bags to make sure that my mother didn't have to pay for me.
Right.
So it's a very, oh shit,
Oh,
this nigga
that's
just popped in
smart.
with a
Smart.
smile.
What up, son?
How you know this?
This what happens when you don't lock the door.
Turn around, he's like this.
This what happens when you don't lock the door.
Got it.
You
So,
get
yeah,
people
nah.
from Brooklyn just walk up in this motherfucker. He's from Brooklyn.
I'm from
Don't
Brooklyn
believe
too,
him. He's
but
from
I live in
Brooklyn.
Harlem. Where you at? Word? I'm gonna come hang out with you. Nah, I need
He's
some
from
friends up
Brooklyn.
here.
He's from Brooklyn. Don't believe him. He's from Brooklyn.
I'm from Brooklyn
He
too.
is
I need
from
some friends
Brooklyn.
up here. I moved up here too. I ain't
Yo,
no
Smart is from Brooklyn. Don't pay no mind to him, bro.
He's up from
Yeah, well, get out of here.
Yeah, nah, but that Biggie song,
Right.
like I said, everything outside of blowing my brains out, that was the struggle that I lived. Like, you ever heard Ghostface, when he's talking about his moms? Moms had,
Yeah, all the
I swear
kids.
to God, when he was
I ain't
saying,
like to sleep with John. John, he peed the bed.
When he-
Damn, John, you
Damn,
did that?
John.
that song right there, when I hear that song, I think about the building that I lived in. My moms gave toilet paper to people. The people upstairs got the couch. Yeah, so those songs, it don't be so much about how much you spit. It's really about what you say. Ghostface
Right.
says something that brought
Ghostface
a tear
is
to
crazy.
my eye.
Right.
Big says something that brought a tear to my eye. So those two songs are gonna be the ones that I'll be like, but that Tribe joint, as far as hip hop goes,
Yeah,
unquestionably.
shout out to the Tribe.
Tribe. is-
Now, Mac, when you hit the studio, what's your mission? What's your message?
I don't know, bro. It depends. I think it's changing now because of what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But usually I just go in there and just rap, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I didn't grow up writing, like, you know,
Tell my
thought-provoking shit. You
Right.
feel me? I grew up writing, like, you know, how many people I kill, you know what I'm saying? How many bodies we catch, like, you know, like growing up, Mobb Deep, you know, fucking that era, you know what I'm saying? That's how I learned hip hop, like that
Right.
gangster shit. You feel me?
But you said it fucked you up, right?
It did fuck me up, but that doesn't. It's still how I, you know, that's how my art. That's how I express the art. You feel me? That's how I learned. You feel me? So now I'm trying to transition. I'm working on transitioning in a different way. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, you know, is just how I learned the art, you know what I mean? But as you get older and shit, you start understanding that you do have a responsibility, you know what I'm saying? And you know, our responsibility is different when we're 19, 20, 21 versus,
Right.
you know, 30, 35, whatever the fuck, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do have a different, I understand I have a different type of responsibility now, so I have to pay attention, be attentive to that. You feel me? Just like you, as you grow and as you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I find myself being a lot more accurate and projecting things that make sense
Right,
rather than what sounds good.
right,
You dig what I'm saying? Like back in the days, I have a whole bunch of metaphors about guns. Nowadays, I say like something like, I'm seeing life a little different now. I used to love the way the pistol sound. But when a loved one hit the ground, that's when you understand the pain you dishing out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
because that's an experience for me.
right.
And I want to give people an experience
Right.
rather than, yo, let me tell you this shit sound cool, and you go out and do it, fuck your whole life up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I'm
and
at
it did
with it.
fuck my shit up. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Same
Like,
shit.
Yeah, no,
Same
it was an interview. I'm trying to remember who it was, and they described this perfect. They said, when I was 20, I was telling you about my experiences.
Right.
Now that I'm 30 and I have 10 years in the game, I can tell you about how to avoid my experiences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you
Right.
first rhyming, you can only talk about what you know.
Yeah, because
But-
Jay-Z recently kind of like,
Did that too. Yeah, I
Right.
was watching, you know what's funny? I was watching, there's a Fat Joe interview. And they said, yo, Fat Joe, let me ask you a question. It was a song. You said, one day I went to visit my aunt and stuck up my cuz. He said, did that happen? He said, absolutely not. That never happened. he said,
Right.
absolutely not. That didn't happen. He said, you know, like, now that I think about it,
right.
but that, you know, I was just trying to be the hardest. But now
Right.
as an
Sound the hardest.
Right. But as an adult, I would never say those things because those things aren't true, and that's leading somebody down.
Okay, so Jay-Z recently comes out and he says he was ashamed by the lyrics that he wrote on Big Pimpin' and how it made him feel in this present day. Is there anything that you might have said that made you feel that way, that you look back and be like, damn, why did I project that?
Probably a record I made about like being high and smoking and being zooted and how it's like the best thing in the world. I don't smoke at all now. So it's like,
What you mean you don't smoke?
I don't smoke weed.
Oh.
Hold on.
I don't smoke weed.
You don't smoke weed?
No.
Yo, Phil, I wasn't just on the phone with you the other day.
I'm not a weed smoker. Like, I don't enjoy
But you were smoking
But
weed
you was
that day?
smoking weed the other day, was you?
When was I smoking weed?
When I called you on the phone, you was like, yeah, I was smoking weed.
Oh, yeah, I hit a blunt with my girl. Yeah.
You look high right now.
My girl,
When was I smoking weed?
no.
Yeah, when you said I called you on the phone, you said, yeah, I'm high right now.
Nah, like, you know what a weed smoker is.
Yeah,
like,
Right.
every day, all day.
Smoke, like,
Right.
you chief, you know what I mean? You roll
Right.
up, you wake up, you
I ain't
roll
gonna
up.
lie.
Right.
Yeah,
Wu-Tang,
like,
Wu-Tang.
like I'm not buying weed. Like, if I buy weed, I'll probably buy my girl an eighth, and we'll have that shit for like a fucking 3
month.
weeks, like just fucking
I'm
like.
sorry.
Like,
Cole,
yeah, I'm not a chiefer, but
Speak-
just
Right.
because it make
rap
me feel
lyrics will fuck your life
stupid
up
now.
because
You know what I
Jay-Z
mean?
said.
Not because it's like a bad thing to do, like don't smoke weed, but it's more so like but the reaction is different now. Like before, it used to make me happy, like,
Right.
yay, weed, cool, like this is happy. But now it's like I just feel dumbfounded and I can't articulate myself. And I'm at a stage in my life where I don't ever want to not be able to articulate myself. Like I'm way too intelligent for that, and it's just not cool.
Right.
No, that's listen.
Yeah,
Anybody
like,
that gives
feel
up
like a fucking
vice,
idiot.
I don't care what the vice is. If you can give up a vice, something that's a crutch for you, stronger person for it.
But it depends on if it's a vice.
I mean, weed is a vice.
Well, anything I
Anything
feel like that.
past food, water that you put in your system, it's optional.
Yo, I'm curious, bro. Like that lyric that Jay-Z said, yo, Big Pimpin', that shit kind of threw me off. I wonder, like, how many other rappers feel that way? You know what I mean?
Wait,
Yeah,
shout out
but-
my man Kweli. Never had to walk back a lyric.
Like, I remember Snoop going
I
through
feel
it
like
with his
if that's
wife,
the song that he,
That's one.
and I wondered,
out of all the songs, that's the song that he's
Big
like,
Probably
Pimpin',
'cause he's a
out of all of them,
devoted-
out
right?
of all the songs, because
He
he
got
He's
a
a
song
devoted-
selling crack to his mom.
right, like
but
Jay,
that song,
you know
yeah.
how, yo, listen, during that time, you know how much fucking, you know how many drug dealers Jay-Z influenced?
All of them.
You know how many drug dealers that Jay-Z turned regular people into drug dealers?
True. And that's what he regrets.
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, and he regrets
He made
Big Pimpin'.
He
I'ma
made
tell you
people
what did he
sell
say
crack.
on that?
He made-
Now I'm gonna do. What did he say on that?
But you gotta think about it. He
got a
has
daughter
daughters
now.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
He has daughters now. So his daughters hear these lyrics and they're like,
Damn.
damn, dad.
He was like, fuck your mom.
he was like, word, like,
Right.
is that how you feel about mom? Like,
Give my heart to a woman.
No, how
many
No,
people-
no,
how
no,
many
no,
people you
no,
I'll be
think-
forever macking. You know what I mean?
How many people you think thought about Jay-Z lyrics while they was selling to a pregnant girl or some shit like that? You
All
feel
of
me? Like, you
A
know,
They
lot.
definitely thought about
A
Tola.
lot.
right? Like, but so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Music hypnotizes you.
right?
Is that-
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I remember listening to. I think it was a fucking CNN song. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, like, you know, the first time, like, one of the first times that I actually shot at somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about that song. Like, that's the song lyrics was going in my shoot up your block so you could know me. Like, in my mind, I remember, like, I'm like,
You ain't ready yet. Slow
Yeah.
down the record.
but that line kept on going in my head. Because
Right.
I'm like, all right, y'all, like, all right, boom. So this is what it's supposed to be. This is, for my respect, for y'all motherfuckers to know who I am,
Right.
I gotta shoot up your block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that song made it okay for me.
Right.
Cause that was like, you know
It
what I mean?
was your encouragement.
Right.
It was like the theme song
Right.
to that moment.
I feel
Right.
bad because he has CNN. You heard the story I told you outside earlier. I had G-Rap.
Right.
Shit was a
G-Rap.
lot different on my side.
G-Rap was like-
G-Rap was
There
like,
was- there
kill
was-
everybody.
There was no heart. No heart at all.
None.
I had 50 Cent.
Buck, take that with you on your way down.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, listen.
Right.
Right, that was my
You
shit.
lose.
Right,
Because
because
you
of
got
the
the
ill
ill
street
street
look.
blues.
When
Yeah.
G-Rap said that
Listen.
shit, he said up anyway, because I don't play clown.
You know what's so crazy too?
You gotta speak louder because you're not mic'd up. We mic'd up. Yeah.
Yo, China Mac is you a powerful artist, bro. You know what I mean? Cause like I'm just sitting back on the sideline, just hearing your influence or how music influenced you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, China and Africa, right? China and Africa is not too far apart, right? And a lot of stuff gets imported from Africa, like taken out of Africa, re-stamped in China, and resold in America, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
You could bridge a gap between two worlds.
I think that's what he does.
He's doing that current.
Like making that message, right? So instead of saying like, yo, it's a shoot 'em up, like I feel the need, I gotta shoot 'em up to prove myself. I can feel the need. You can have Chinese kids hanging out with African kids, doing business and trading, doing import export in America,
Right.
and making that kind of vibe powerful through the music and then your personal finances will grow because you'll be an international artist.
Right.
But I feel like having these other artists from other like cultures and ethnicities talking about those topics, and not necessarily just become a political rapper, because you're gonna make the music you want to make.
Right.
But I think that you have a potential and an opportunity to be way more influential than you are.
Right.
Yeah. So.
See now this is where, okay, we talk about the influence thing. All right, yeah, 50 Cent, salute. I rob mad shit, listen to this nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it just was what it was. You know what I mean? Like, yo, throw on that 50. we going to Manhattan tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, talking about what'd you tell Sway? We going on the meow.
on the meow. Facts, on the meow. Like, Sway didn't understand that. He didn't understand that. But is music the way to change the culture of the people?
Yes.
Because
I think it's one of the ways, and it's a big way. You know what I'm saying? Music definitely controls the, it definitely has big influence on the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why all these big corporations, want such big pieces of it, because it actually controls the people, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever's hot, like music can make a brand pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
like
we
Pop
figured
Smoke-
that out.
Pop Smoke started saying Dior, everybody's wearing Dior. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just so music, but that's just clothing. You know what I'm saying? So if it could have a influence on clothing, what else could it have influence on? You know what I'm saying? Whatever's the hot thing is what it would do. And I think what the music industry, I feel like there is a fucking, like, they don't want certain shit to be in the music.
what exactly don't they want?
The shit that's gonna get us like
Together.
right.
Right. They've never played conscious hip hop.
Yeah, they don't want us to be.
No, conscious hip hop got cut.
Well, you got to remember that conscious hip hop.
That's where it started.
Well, right.
Well,
because
remember
if you listen
Billie
to,
Holiday? They continue to lock her up for singing Strange Fruit.
Right, Strange Fruit.
Educating
You
people
can't-
about people being hung.
Hung, right.
And every time she sang it, they put
They
her in
locked her
jail.
up. Correct.
Every time.
She ain't
But
like
they
that.
gotta maintain the status quo. So you know how they use crack back in the day? They use crack back. They use,
No, I need you to talk louder.
Right.
They use, I'm saying, help me project a little better. They use crack back in the day to break down the hood. You know what I
Right.
mean? To break down our communities.
Right.
So now they realize everything gets, advanced and evolves. So music is the new crack that breaks down the communities, and they use music as a way to maintain the status quo and push a certain agenda.
Well,
right? So
it-
hold on, let me say this last
Go
point.
ahead.
Because if you got black males emasculated, right? The
Well-
key, the emasculation, black male emasculation limits us from taking our proper positions, right?
Right.
Correct.
Us growing.
Right.
So we're not talking about America is not a place. America is not a home, it's a hotel. Black people, we the only people that view America as our home, right? So China Black can make
China
over
Mac.
here-
China Mac.
China Mac, right?
Yeah.
He can make music over here, grow and invest back in China.
Right.
Right? A lot of people from other cultures, they have their connection back to their homeland. We disconnected. Right? So music is a way to maintain the status quo. We can't ignore, fraternities, people selling their soul, doing weird shit. I've been in music for a long time.
So let me ask you a question. Wait.
Where we going?
Here's the question.
We just went
Did
left.
you write a,
No, we gotta go
rhyme?
left.
Did you write a rhyme about shooting a nigga before you had a deal or after you had a deal?
Both.
Okay,
Look,
so
and I never made a song about shooting a white nigga.
I'm not right. So what happens is this right here. As far as music, right? Music has always reflected the struggle during the '60s, during the '70s, during
Right.
the '80s. The music
Right.
will always reflect the struggle.
It used
What they-
to.
No, it's what they choose to play. Music has never stopped reflecting the struggle. It's what y'all choose to listen to. Anybody that's ever said ain't no good music out here.
No.
then look.
But you gotta understand, at some point, when people started recognizing how big of a business it was,
Yes, the
Right,
success
as far
story.
as
they started to perpetuate
Yes.
the struggle.
Well, no. Think about it.
You understand?
All right, here's what happened. When music, okay, hip hop didn't take off. Run DMC is pretty much the start of hip hop on its incline.
Right.
Okay, Run DMC.
And what was their message?
Now,
Yo,
Run DMC didn't have a message. They
Listen,
was like,
yeah, look,
no,
what-
not really.
Well, listen.
No.
Well, listen. Alright, when Run DMC, right? Look, let me tell you something. First of all, we got to backtrack real quick.
Right, go ahead.
Vivendi owns Viacom. Vivendi is a French company.
Right.
You got Vivendi, you got Viacom, you got LVMHs, right?
Okay.
So you got to understand the dynamic.
No, because all of these people, right? Russell
Mm-hmm.
Simmons went and started a label. His first publishing deal, meaning who presses the wax,
Yeah.
he didn't have a struggle. He dealt all with black people. So all of the music that you heard coming out of the 80s, and you got the Run DMCs and the Curtis Blows, and none of that music had a negative impact. Even if you go back to Sugar Hill when they was talking about what it's like living in the Bronx.
Right.
Right.
But at some point,
Here's where at some point came
it
in.
switched and said,
That some point came at the start of pretty much NWA, the birth of gangster rap.
Right.
NWA was the first rap group that was.
Ice-T was before that.
No,
Ice-T.
but Ice-T wasn't cross country. Yeah, no. No,
He's the
that,
first
that's
gangster rap Ice-T
way.
was.
Cop Killer is way after NWA. Way. NWA, yeah.
You sure?
Trust me on this one. Cop Killer is way after NWA. No,
Let's
it's
see.
way after NWA.
You said Ice-T?
Yeah, Ice-T
Yeah.
Cop Killer is
It
way
was
after
after.
NWA.
Yeah, that's after NWA.
That's
Yeah.
10 years after NWA.
But you mentioned a point when. Look, what was the first thing Run DMC was known for, right? When they revived
My
Aerosmith, a rightness.
Adidas.
So they didn't know the power that
My
hip hop
Adidas.
had on.
They did.
product
No, they
to
did
be
because
marketed to consumers
once
until that happened.
My Adidas came out,
1992.
the
It was.
first rap deal
Yeah, you be
between
strong and
the
wrong.
industry, the music industry,
What?
the industry,
NWA came out.
right.
right? The first
It
rap
was
deal
like
between
in
the
the
music
80s.
industry and fashion
I'll tell you that.
is Run DMC. My Adidas. The minute that they put out that song, Adidas came and said, "We'll sponsor your whole suits and everything else. We'll give y'all all the clothes that
That's
y'all
the
need
switch.
and every
That's the
sneakers
switch.
that y'all need."
That's the switch.
That's hip hop and fashion.
Yeah.
Gangster rap came and NWA was bi-coastal. There was no bi-coastal rappers. You was either East Coast, and you had your East Coast shit, and you was West Coast, and West Coast wasn't popping like that. East Coast, West Coast finally brought it all the way across America. When they seen the influence of NWA, not to mention the message, they was like, yeah, we'll support this. Now, when you started hearing on the radio, it went more from the Curtis Blows and the Run DMCs, and then you started hearing the G-Raps.
Right.
There was a time when they would play
88.
G-Rap on the radio. There was a time, right, they would play all of that. Big is as big as he is because of what he said.
Right.
Nas is as big as he is because of what he said. And
But
then when Nas got positive, the second album, you see what Nas happened? You see what happened to that second album, that third album? Right. Never happened.
I want to go even deeper than that. I don't know if y'all remember like watching old like movies about witches and stuff like that, and how these witches would always rhyme.
Yeah.
They would always rhyme, and the reason they call spelling, because it's like
A spell.
you're casting a spell. So like you hear these rhymes, and it's in a musical fashion. It's like a message being pleasantly planted inside of your head.
And they use melody to cast a spell. If you break down the science of like Hollywood, you know, the
Yes,
witches,
yeah.
the broomstick that a witch flies
To
on,
cast this
is made
spell,
from
it's
the
called Hollywood, right?
When a magician goes abracadabra,
It's wood, Hollywood.
wood,
Right. So now you couple these lyrics with videos, and you project them, and you see the effect that it has on the community. How responsible do you feel when you go into the studio? You go into the studio.
I tell jokes.
You tell jokes, but again, those jokes also have like it plays
Comedians
a role.
a very different beast in the artist community for two reasons. One, y'all all get to write all of y'all shit way before y'all ever hit a stage. Got the rhymes mastered, got the beats perfect. I don't know if this shit is funny until I stand on the stage. I practice on stage.
Right.
And comedians can actually say the truth, how it is. Whether the joke flies or not, it's Evil Knievel. I'm here for the attempt.
Right.
Doesn't
But in some cases, comedians play up to stereotypes, and that can be detrimental. But this is what I'm saying. Like when you go into the studio, what is your message? What are you feeling? Knowing this information, knowing I can make a song that could become a hit, but it could also put thousands of people in jail.
Right.
Because they'll be influenced the way that I was influenced.
Right. I mean, I haven't really thought of, like, really gave a good critique on that, on myself on that until recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, until recently, I was just like, man, I'm gonna just rap how I rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I knew that, I seen the responsibility, because I knew it, you know what I mean? But I just wasn't ready to change it, you know? Like, we ready to change certain shit when we ready to. Even though we know it's wrong, you feel me? We still gonna do it until we're ready to change it. And I think it was just up to recently, I was just like, yo, man, like, you know, I shouldn't be putting out that message if that's not the message, you know. If I know that messages like that made me do certain shit, you know, I'm kind of out of bounds. Like, I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of doing some fucked up shit.
Being hypocritical.
Right, but, you know, I mean, but it's, I feel like as an artist, we express what we express. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't tell a person who writes a movie, like, how to write the movie. He's just gonna write them. You don't tell a painter how the fuck he's gonna paint. He's just gonna paint. And I feel like whenever we as artists understand the power that we have with certain shit, that we take that, and whenever we're ready to take that responsibility, we should adjust it. Just like how Jay-Z has, just like how everybody else has. But when you're in the height of it, you know, it's hard to adjust it when there's so much demand for it. Like, imagine, like, when, you know,
it's hard to stop selling crack when the fiends just keep coming back.
Or if you have the information. So, like, executives, there's no more executives, right? Like, everybody wants to be a fucking artist, right? Everybody wants to be in front of the camera. Few people want to be behind the camera, right? That's why in the streets, you talking about moving a certain way, you got OGs, you got people telling you this how it goes. You being prepared. So instead of you copping out to 1 and 3, you know you could beat it on the grand jury. Instead of you running your mouth and ratting, you know you could shut the fuck up, sit up for 6 months, and come home good.
Right.
You had other people letting you know this is how things go. You talk about meow. Meow was a term niggas use for boosting.
I know. I'm from the hood.
Right.
Me too. I mean, my
right.
Like, I mean, and
I'm from the hood.
Alright, so you know what I'm talking about, like, you know, Butter, Coney Island, like the rush.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when niggas is running 40 deep into, that's what me out, right?
Steaming.
Yeah, right. So what I'm saying is we had growing up, we had, and God bless his dead, you know, rest in peace, Rad, right? We had people like that to let you know how things go. Or you ain't built for this, homie, so put this down and take this. Or you know you nice at basketball, we ain't letting you have this pack. Hustle on this block, we're gonna fuck you up.
Correct.
You out,
that's the
right?
OG.
Right.
So that's the OG move.
Right.
So artists.
So what do we do as artists now? Are we the OGs?
Yes, y'all are.
Yo, listen,
I've had this conversation before.
The motherfuckers right now they got podcasts.
I'm too young to be
Independent media. And being an OG is about experience.
Yeah.
It's not about
True.
how old you are.
True.
It's not about age,
Yeah,
it's about
old ass
experience.
OG.
You could be 55 years old and be a fuck nigga, you heard? Or you could be 15
and be the OG.
I know a couple.
Because you move in a certain way.
Right.
You heard? You moving and you experience certain things. So we got a responsibility because our actions are gonna be the lawyers for our soul in God's court when we die.
Right.
So every deed is like testimony. So when you understand that, you got a responsibility not just to your audience, but to your motherfucking self, because you got a soul. And you know enough to know that.
So recently I battled Geechee Gotti.
Lawyers gonna be actions.
And there was one particular thing that I knew would happen. I knew all the street niggas was gonna be paying attention to this battle. There's a Clean Neighborhood Act that allows the government to come after like gang members. They're considered terrorists. And I exposed this Clean Neighborhood Act, hoping that I'll be able to like influence people and let them know, like, if you throwing it up on camera, you showing hammers, you're being counted. And anything that you own, all these rappers who throw up gangs and all that shit,
coming to snatch that.
as soon as someone you're associated with does a crime,
Conspiracy.
they're sweeping you up too. It's like the new RICO.
Yeah. It's the new, so what it is, it's the new conspiracy guidelines. And then see, that's why.
Not new
one thing-
conspiracy
no,
guidelines.
listen.
Right,
Conspiracy
but
guidelines.
it's-
No, but it's new because we got.
It's not new. The
Listen, I'll tell you
conspiracy
why.
laws always said the same thing.
No.
They said these
No,
words
no.
right here. Anything that conspiracy works like this.
Right.
You can be charged with the equal amount of the person that you hang with. So you murder, I get a murder charge. You sold crack, and I knew about it, I sold crack.
Right, but here's the new thing.
But
I get to
it's-
confiscate. The government now gets to confiscate.
That's RICO.
Everything.
Everything. That's RICO.
That you own.
Yeah.
As a rapper.
That's the RICO laws.
But
But,
it's
the,
digital now,
but
too,
no,
though.
the RICO laws were made to catch the mafia. That y'all are running around late as an organized crime unit.
Right.
It's not their fault. Because the Bloods and the Crips just got it together and they selling cracks on 10 blocks. That don't make it a new law. It's been the RICO law.
But I think
No, but it's new
I
law.
think in this day and era, everybody feels like most rappers feel like they have to be associated with some sort of gang
They bitches. I am the gang.
to get out there.
I am the gang. I ain't never need a nigga to be thugged out in the street. And if you need a backing or a name of a bunch of niggas,
But you do though. And see, look, let me tell you something, right? Now, this somebody who I always hung around, different, different gang members and different people, right? But I'm Muslim, right?
You out?
Yo,
Yeah, I
nothing
told you I
the
can't
government
stay
do
too
so
long. I
much.
told you I can't.
See, so I used to feel that way too, right? So if you go on Rikers Island, right? You go on Rikers Island, right? You get in a problem with the police and they call the turtles, they coming. They not going. It's not no one on. You go up north, you go to Southport Box, you splash a cop, they rush in your cell. It's not one person rushing your cell.
Right.
Police run down on you. The thing is, I don't fear police. You heard? But I know response time. So if I get an issue with this person and it's going left, I'm gonna go because I know the response time is crazy. And so I think gangs need to the structure. Let me tell you something. Because gangs didn't. I don't think no black man, period, should be by himself. I think gangs are good. I think gangs are a great thing. I think the structure needs to change. I really believe. I'll be honest with you. I believe because it's no different from having Black Panthers. It's no different from having.
do you know what CRIP stands for?
I don't know.
CRIP stands for Citizens Resistance and Progress.
Right.
CRIP started out as black people looking out for black people.
Right.
That you niggas have misconstrued it and run around the street and bang people's faces open and shit like
Right.
that has nothing to do with Crip started with.
Now
right?
the ops-
Now I've been up north and I can
Right.
tell you something.
Yeah.
I've been up north in these years when Bloods and Crips is crazy in the streets.
Right.
But I'm decent and I don't flag those things.
Right.
And you know what? I had a peaceful trip up north. Not flagging nothing.
Yeah, but if
you
if
don't
been up
need
north-
a gang.
Listen, hold on. If you've been up north, then you know, first of all, Crips don't live on the East Coast. That's one.
Who?
Crips don't live on the East Coast in New York.
Tip Top is from Flatbush. It's
Listen,
from
listen,
UK.
look.
Started and brought
Yeah,
the Blood
but listen,
Nation to New
anybody-
York
look,
City.
look,
It's
yo,
starting to get deep in.
I am an OG in these
starting to
streets
get
out
deep
here.
in.
Listen, bro.
Uh-huh.
You know, we on camera, so I don't want to say nothing.
Right, no, go ahead.
I'm just keep 100 right? Like, yo, like, the East Coast, Bloods really run the system. West Coast, it's kind of like more cryptic, right? So the point I'm trying to make is the structure started off a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back to the point I was making earlier, these platforms, like independent media, is going to be the new teacher for the kids coming up. The young China Mac, the young Matt Hoffa, the young comedian. You're a comedian, so you're almost like a speaker. Black people, even Asians, we the same. We are people of rhythm. So when you talk and you make jokes, it's easier to tap into the subconscious mind through humor than it is through just regularity. It's easier to tap into the subconscious mind through melody than just regular being straightforward.
Right.
And the subconscious mind helps create everything. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel turns into a vibration. That vibration turns into a magnet. Then it attracts things and then you manifest. So when you understand how powerful you really are, then you have that responsibility. Now what he said is hard because there's nobody else providing opportunity. So it's easier to prosper selling your soul than having the delayed gratification to deal with God and do it and build it on your own. But we in the last days.
Yo, smart.
Yeah, she's smart. Hold on.
We gotta stop
I like him.
this.
I
Smart.
like him.
We gotta stop
We gonna
right
talk
there.
outside. I got a few things to talk to him
Look,
about.
man, you love the show. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. If this your first time hearing, you appreciate the conversation. The Justin Project pre-order, which is a compilation of music that I put together, that I created, and I feel like I'm delivering the right message. If you want to support it, hit math.hoffa@gmail or DM me on Instagram. Fit, you got something going on?
Always Misfit, Murdav, Misfit, Miss.Fit anywhere. All social media outlets, Miss.Fit1 on Twitter, Miss.Fit on Instagram. Of course, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And guess what it is? Miss.Fit. Subscribe, baby. You already know the vibes.
Get it.
Shout out to my man Smart in the building.
We gonna holler in a minute.
Shout out to Tiger Style. You done know. My man Seth.
How y'all feeling?
Yo, hold on. I want to make sure I get this on camera. So I'm part of the Ohio summer camp. That's what you're saying?
So, yes, I'm bringing you with me to the Chappelle summer camp. This isn't Comedy Central. This is the Chappelle, Team Chappelle. Javoti Media, Talib Kweli, Diamond D just dropped the album called Gotham. Go pick that up. Dave Chappelle, Talib Kweli, and Mos Def, Yasin Bey have started a podcast on Luminary, The Midnight Miracle. Make sure y'all check that out. I have been banging out clubs in the city since they opened up again.
Right.
Find me somewhere out here. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
somewhere.
facts.
I got to brush off some of this rust. But
Facts.
I got jokes out here. And it's always love for the team. Just remember, just love your team and all that.
And I want to say, China Mac, thank you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing the moments of leadership that you've been walking your path and kind of gathering people together. Is there anything you want to promote?
Definitely. You can find me on Instagram at China Mac. Everything else is China Mac. My YouTube is China Mac TV. And my website is ChinaMacOnline.com. I got an album dropping called Viral Rebirth. And I got merch, you know what I mean? This hat is mine. And then I'm just constantly moving, constantly working. So follow me and just keep watching the movements, you heard?
Yo, you stopped me from cursing a old man out today.
What? Why you say that?
Because I was on your page, doing research, and I saw the lady that got abused.
Right.
And it made me it made me realize yo, we need to look out for our elders more. And then I was taking a cab up here, and the dude that was driving was going 15 miles an hour. All the way up. All the way up. And I looked over and I wanted to yell at him, and I noticed he was real old, and I was like, damn. He's probably doing this because he needs to do it.
Right. And that's crazy. That's a lot of shit. That right there, I'm glad you brought that up. But that's something that I feel like a lot of our youth kind of lost. You feel me? Protecting our elders. You feel me? And at the end of the day, I feel like, that was something that I was always taught as a kid from the people that passed on their traditions and shit to me. And it's always been protect our elders, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, whatever beef me and you got, whatever discrepancy we got, that shit ain't got nothing to do with the elderly, with the children, and with the women, you feel me? So it's I think, but more emphasis on the elderly because, we seeing so many attacks, and not just Asian attacks, but attacks on the elderly, period. I think that shit is so cowardly.
Facts.
Right? And not only cowardly on the part of the people who do it, but the people who allow it to happen, right? And also the people who entertain that shit, the people who laugh at that shit, the people who got something to say.
Put your phones away
and punch somebody in the face.
Stop recording this shit and punch somebody in the face.
Right.
Period.
Real shit, man.
Period.
For real. That's a fact.
You're lying.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Episode 71.
Yeah, I want to shout out China Mac, and I want to let y'all know that his movement, they can't burn us all. Those are real works. They can't burn.
Those are real works.
If we stand together.
And we salute you for it.
Appreciate that.
Real shit.
Facts.
We out.
We out.
It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm